You don't even seem to understand the show. You just ruin everything.
You gotta be funny in here.
I can't wait for you guys to see this on Howard TV.
Daily shows, classics, and exclusive behind-the-scenes access.
Well, that's going to be on Howard TV.
The funniest, sexiest, most star-studded network on TV is Howard TV On Demand.
Hey Stern fans, welcome to Fine Time, the show where you, the fans, get the opportunity to ask questions and interact with your favorite Stern Show staffers, whack packers, and celebrity superfans. I'm your host, Rachel Fine. Now, my guest today is one of the original members of the Whack Pack. When he first appeared on the show in 1988, it was obvious to both Howard and fans alike that a star was born. He has a debilitating speech impediment, which makes his voice impossible to forget. He once shit in his pants while waiting for Gary at an appearance, and he's had sexual encounters with both men and women. He's a man who sounds Korean and has a lot to say, but sadly, you're probably not going to understand any of it. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Fred the Elephant Boy.
How you doing, Rachel?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
Thank you for inviting me here.
Well, I'm so happy to have you. Lots of questions came in. I'm going to jump right in. Question from Joseph M. Joseph asks, what was your favorite moment on The Stern Show?
My favorite moment, I think it must be something to include me, was doing the Cleveland photo and speaking to 10,000 people in Cleveland, Ohio, to introduce the staff. And now the moment you're ready for, the one you give me, the Killer Media and the Killer Media of Cleveland, Dwayne for Howard Stern! And the show, we spent all day in a strip joint and then did the show at the Chelsea parking lot. And to me, that's where I met my girlfriend, and that was the best moment I ever had.
That's wonderful. Question from CWB in Tennessee. He asks, what is John R. John asks, at what point in your life did it become acceptable to shit your pants just to be on time to a Stern-related event?
It was never in time, but I was too committed to quote the budget, and I was there, so regardless, it would make no sense like to go all the way there and then do a 180 and go back. And that was my big mistake.
There was no closed bathroom you could have gotten
No,
to?
there was no place, because that area is mostly industrial places, factory, there was hardly no stores there.
What about like behind a factory or something instead of in your pants?
I was looking, but then it was too late.
Oh.
That's the first thing I did once I get there. I would like to help us at the ship. I'm sure I left the public toilet nice and clean when I got done.
Yes. Question from Russell B. He asks, have you ever been in a fist fight?
No. Number one, I don't drink, so I don't get drunk, and I don't associate people who get drunk. You know, if somebody wants to behave like a so I just go away. So I never confront anybody.
More of a lover than a fighter.
You should try me sometime.
A fight?
No, a lover.
A lover. LED asks, what do you keep in your fanny pack?
Using my radio, my money, my cards.
You want to show us?
Okay. That's it. I got my money in my front pocket. Where I took on my radio, I got my ID card for work and my keys. My keys here. Here, I got some credit card here and the back of my credit card here. So.
Is that a business card? Do you have business cards?
No, I don't have a business card. That's my health card.
Hang on to that.
Okay.
Question from Scott P. Scott asked, do you feel bad that you are not on the show that much anymore?
No, because how it kept me alive. He can only do so much with me, and then it become all that. So if I never appear, I'm not going to grab pockets off it. I'm not going to throw a tantrum. I'm happy for what happened before, not the future. Live it to the new generation of Rat Packers.
The new generation. You're passing the torch.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I understood.
Yeah, very good.
Dylan M. asks, do you think pro wrestling is as good as it used to be? And if not, when do you think pro wrestling was at its best?
Well, I really don't watch that much wrestling anymore. I think it comes with age. I become a little more mature. I got different interests, and I can't say if the product today is better or worse than the product of yesterday. I think it's just a personal. Is personal to whomever it pertains to.
JR asked, in the past you've had sex with men. Was it easier to pick up gay men or women while having the speech impediment?
Oh, but that's a... Where my track...
Asks, how difficult is it when you order food over the phone? Do they ever get your order right?
You have to speak nice and slow and very deliberate. That's my advice. I don't have what Cracker Bob went through when he all the stuff, on the phone.
And Tiki by me. Tiki by me.
Yeah. Okay. Question from Crix B. Crix asks, being that you have been with both men and women, here's a double F, marry, kill for you.
Okay.
Jason, Benji, and JD, and then Lisa, Rob.
I would probably, nothing personal, guys, but I would probably marry Jason JT, and Benji.
Awesome.
For whatever reason, I cannot make sense of it myself.
It's just what your heart
Like
says.
the woman.
And the women are Lisa G, Robin, and myself.
Oh, I will marry Lisa G, you,
Thank you.
not in that way, and kill Robin.
In what way would you be f***ing me?
Like a dog in hate.
I'm kind of flattered by that.
Okay.
Okay. I want to thank Fred for taking the time to answer the questions that you, the fans, submitted. Keep sending your questions in. You can tweet them, you can Facebook them, you can email them, you can even send a video submission and be a part of this show. Remember, this is your show, so don't screw it up. Until next time, I'm Rachel Fine, and I hope you had a fine time. Did you have a fine time?
I did, and people send in more questions about me so Rachel can invite me here again.
That's a great idea. You know, I actually had a bonus request from Clayton B, if you have a second.
Yeah.
He wants you to repeat after me. Are you ready?
Okay, whatever.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Was that good or bad?
I think it was pretty good. I
Thank
understood
you.
it. Nice work.
I think the problem is if I'm not what going to say next, I have no problem saying long words. When I was younger, I used to be more of a stutterer than Stuttering John back then. So by now, I overcome that, but I still got this great force. Yes.
Great voice indeed.
Yeah, whatever.
You don't even seem to understand the show. You just ruin everything.
You gotta be funny in here.
I can't wait for you guys to see this on Howard TV.
Daily shows, classics, and exclusive behind-the-scenes access.
Oh, that's going to be on Howard TV.
The funniest, sexiest, most star-studded network on TV is Howard TV On Demand.
Hey Stern fans, welcome to Fine Time, the show where you, the fans, get the opportunity to ask questions and interact with your favorite Stern Show staffers, whack backers, and celebrity superfans. I'm your host, Rachel Fine. Now today I'm coming to you from Radio City Music Hall, where we get the Fine Time opportunity to sit down with Howard's co-judges. That's right, Mel B, Heidi Klum, and Howie Mandel. Watch what happens when we ask them your questions. We got tons of questions from all of Howard's fans, so I'm happy to sit down with you guys today.
Oh, dear.
First one, I know, prepare yourself.
I'm scared.
First one comes from Kim Rossi S. She asks, were you intimidated to work with Howard, and what's the biggest misconception that has changed?
Who are you talking to?
Whoever, you want to take it first?
I will take it
Okay.
first. I was not intimidated. I was excited to work with Howard. I had done his radio show many times.
Yep.
And I was not surprised because I know him, but I think people are surprised. Well, I'm still surprised. He's a surprising, guy. Just when you think you know him, he'll surprise. Like, he'll see an act and you think, there's no way Howard's going to love this. And he becomes like a marshmallow, and he gets very sensitive about, something. And you go, well, is this Fart Man? Is this,
Sure.
Is this the guy that burps all the time?
Yeah.
And have to change the station?
Has he
Am I
lived up to everything you thought he was?
I thought he would be more mean, and he's not.
He's not.
He's not. He has a very soft heart. Hard shell, soft inside.
But he's also very inappropriate, which I love, because I find that funny. But I do think he's like a big, cuddly teddy bear.
Yeah.
You just kind of want to give him a
Have you
hug.
guys cuddled him?
I have.
You really have?
Yeah.
Spooning or just like a
No,
cuddle?
just like a stand-up cuddle.
Stand-up cuddle. Both
But not
dressed?
like a
Were you
laid
both
down.
dressed?
Well, of course I was.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the
Where
standard
did you read?
greeting of a new judge is.
He's so tall.
He's really tall. Yes, he is.
Oh,
I
so a
did-
cuddle is
I did
could be a
get
mouthful.
cuddle. That's what it's saying.
If you hug him front to front, you could choke.
Oh, I'm not that short.
No, he's that tall. Without your heels, how tall are you?
5'5".
5'5". I think that's exactly where his dick is, right?
That's an excellent point.
What did you say?
That's where his dick is. Dick is American for penis. At 5'5".
Did you just really say that?
He did.
Yeah, it's
Now,
Howard
he's
TV.
being
I
inappropriate.
subscribe to this.
See,
I'm
he
going
knows
to watch
Howard
this.
TV. You know the level of
I'm a
appropriateness.
subscriber.
Excellent.
I'll be watching this. Oh, this is so weird as a subscriber just to look at myself and go, this is what I'm paying for.
This is awesome.
Yourself.
We have a question from John W. John asks, does it upset you guys when Howard calls himself America's judge and claims that your opinions are unimportant?
No, we cut it out.
You cut it out?
When it's live, we cannot cut it out, but the 150,000 times he said it when we were taping, we cut it out.
When the contestants are backstage, do they talk about that I'm America's judge and that I'm the important judge, or am I delusional?
No, they do. when people ask, we get asked that a lot, and most of the time, you're who they bring up.
Right.
So you've created a mental block. What about you, Mel?
I just ignore him.
Okay.
He may be America's judge, but we are the international world judge.
I see. You're the international.
We have
Yes.
traveled outside of America. He has not.
Yes.
Okay.
We have an international sense.
Brandon S. asks, don't you think it's utterly ridiculous that Howard's bodyguard is a small 65-year-old man with a Batman goatee?
That's his body? I thought that's just a driver.
Ronnie. No, Ronnie's the
That was the
security.
guy that carries his jewelry.
Ronnie's the head of security. How's your experience?
I
with
didn't
Ronnie?
realize that he was security.
Really?
No, I thought he was just a driver.
Is he undercover?
No, you know him, Ronnie.
Ronnie,
He's up there with
yeah.
the
With the
weird
Batman
mustache.
mustache. Yeah.
Ronnie's the security guy?
How did you not know that? All your
Because
friends-
everybody keeps walking by him and getting into Howard's room. That's the guy. If you want to get to Howard, go by the guy with the Batman mustache.
That's
Everybody
the way it
knows that. Fans here go, we can't get in, we can't get in. You know, the seating here, thousands of people are lined up and they look for the guy, the driver with the Batman, and they go around that guy. That's how they get in.
Also,
scary.
when we're doing the show, he's always like slapping his legs and he's clapping and laughing. He's totally watching the show instead of the people.
Right. He doesn't watch. He doesn't
So
watch.
he was the security guy. Hopefully he still will be after this
I didn't know.
conversation.
No, it's good to know. You know something? It's the interviewer usually, but the people. It's great when the people that are being interviewed are learning something.
This is good.
That's
This is
good. That's
good.
why I love this show.
So we have to be careful
What?
because he's the security.
No, now that we know that he's a
Now that
security
we
guy,
know.
we don't have to be careful.
Yeah.
We thought there was some highfalutin security company. Not so much.
Not so much. Milby, this question's for you from DZ. D asks, if Howard was a Spice Girl, what would his Spice nickname be?
Probably
Grumpy Spice.
Grumpy Spice or Lanky Spice.
Lanky.
Not Jewy.
Lanky.
Jewy
No, that's
Spice.
racist.
No, it's not.
Because
I'm
Well,
a Jew. I
it
can
is a
say
little
that.
bit. I
Jewy.
can't say that. You can say it because you're a Jew. I can't. Because
Give me what
I
you
can't-
want, what
I
you
can't
really,
say
really
it
want.
either.
For
I'm
10%
German.
off.
Get me wolf here. No, because I love when you say Grumpy Spice.
grumpy. Yeah, he would be grumpy actually.
Is it a
That
joke,
is a good
people?
one. Yeah.
Grumpy Spice.
Question for Heidi from Ryan M. Ryan asks, do you have a secret little crush on Howard? Because I believe you do.
I have an open crush on Howard, not a
Really?
secret one.
Okay. Do you find him very
No.
attractive?
No, I don't have a crush on him. I think that he's handsome. He is attractive. He is very smart.
Yeah.
Do you think
I love
Howard's
that.
He's smart and attractive too?
I do.
Yeah.
Not when you have red shorts on. I told you that. When you dress like this.
Oh yeah,
much better.
those jeans you wore.
I wear red. I have a red mankini that I was wearing the other day, and she
You
didn't
know
like
when
it.
he has help for the show.
Sure.
He looks awesome.
You don't like the way I dress?
But when he dresses
When he
off
dresses just
camera,
the way he dresses as
Not
being
good.
Howie Mandel.
It's horrible.
Iffy.
it's dodgy.
But it still makes me more
Tourist.
attractive.
You look a little bit like a tourist.
I am a tourist. I don't live here.
It looks like you need to have one of those passport holder neck holders. You know,
A fanny pack.
Yeah, but you can have those when you put them around your neck. You put your passport.
But that's
and your
not the
money in
question.
it.
I'm
Then you're
attractive, right?
perfect.
Am I attractive?
Apart from the outfits.
Who's more attractive,
Very
me or
attractive.
Howard?
I think both for your age, you look good.
Don't ask for your
I'm
age.
just saying.
Yes, and you're smart for a retarded girl. Was that wrong to say on TV?
You know,
Okay.
that's Howard TV.
Inappropriate.
This is a good lead into the next question for you, Howie. This is from @Razfaz. He asks, has Ronnie continued to call you cute or given you any other
That
weird
really
compliments?
threw me that
I know
day.
it did. So
Ronnie,
he
I
got-
came out of the dressing room one day. I don't know if you girls heard this. I walked out of the dressing room, speaking of the way I dress, and Ronnie's sitting there. I didn't know, head of security, and he goes, I'm being honest, you look cute today. And I just didn't know how to respond. I wasn't going for that.
That just adds to the list of his weirdness.
Really?
Yeah.
You did look cute, dude.
A man doesn't say to another man, you look cute.
Well, I said it to you because you look cute.
But because
Did you think that you look cute?
No,
Did you
I never
find
think
that?
I
Was
look
he
cute.
coming
I
on
don't
to
go
you?
for cute. Like today, I'm
You
going
going for hot?
Did I achieve it?
Yes. I think you look good.
I look really hot.
Here's a
I'm
question.
feeling particularly sexy.
You look sexy tonight. This is a sexy
It's our
look.
TV.
Yes.
This is the place to look sexy.
It is.
Those pants are very tight.
They are tight.
Yep.
Oh my God, I can't believe I just looked.
We all
Why
look.
didn't you look?
All three of us look.
I didn't look.
Did you look?
I know.
How do you know they're tight?
I just.
You can tell.
I'm not looking.
His
Peripheral
voice
vision.
was higher or what?
No.
Question for all of you from Daniel R. Daniel asks, have any of you had a strange or unusual Stern Show related fan interaction since working with Howard?
Yes.
Tell me.
Yes. So the first day that we were here live at High Pitched Eric
Oh, yeah.
is in the crowd. Outside, we're doing this red carpet thing. And I'm doing all these interviews. And I hear, Howie! 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 Hey, Howie! 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 For hours. I mean, and we're doing all these other media things. Howie! Howie!
He's always.
Howie! Howie! For hours. Finally, I see him, and I just want the sound to stop. I just want it to stop.
Howie! Howie! Look out, Howie! Hi, Howie!
So I walk over to Eric. He goes, Howie! I go, I'm here. He goes, is there any way you can get Mel B to come over? That was my strange interaction. That's High Pitched
He
Eric.
does have a lot of followers.
Yeah.
I wasn't like fully aware. I mean,
Who?
there's Howard.
High Pitched Eric.
Yeah, he's always there, and there's always a lady with a crown.
Marianne.
That's Marianne.
Marianne from
Always
Brooklyn.
there.
Another great
I mean,
voice.
It's hardcore. It's amazing.
Yeah.
All we need is Howard in our life.
Howie! Howie!
Right?
For somebody that's in radio where sound is the basic, he is surrounded by the most annoying sounds in the world.
Excellent point.
It really is. I mean, his whole industry is audio, and he's got High Pitched Eric and Marianne from Brooklyn. It's the most grating, but he makes it work.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Question from Dr. Mike for the ladies. He asks, if you had to be stranded on a desert island with either Howard, Nick, or Howie, who would you pick and why? Mel, you want to take it first?
Nick, because he's black.
Okay. That's it.
Really?
And I was racist with Jewy spice?
Go stick with my peeps.
Okay. Fair enough. How about
Wow.
Can I have them all?
you? You get one.
I can't
Two
choose.
people
I'm
on
a
the island? Why
Gemini.
can't we all just get along? I'm not allowed on your black island.
Can't go on our Black Island.
Really? My
You
God.
have to choose one person.
It's one person.
Really? I know.
I don't want to choose.
Oh,
have
Mel
to.
Dean.
I don't want to choose.
Miss Mel Dean
I don't want to choose.
instead of Paula.
Here, I'll make it easier. So, what if you had to pick between Heidi and Mel? One person on your desert island.
Mel, because she's black. And I don't.
Do it. Thanks.
Well, it's the island. I don't know how the islands work. I just found out how they work, and I don't want any trouble. No, both. Can I have both?
You
Can
know.
you sneak her in?
I'm a Gemini. There's
No,
two
I
of
would-
me, and I would like.
Oh, then I would like that. I'd like a menage with Heidi.
That's a fair.
You're not
Can I
a
get a-
Gemini, though.
I'm a Gemini,
married,
too.
I'm married to a Gemini.
We're both
But
Geminis.
you are not a Gemini.
No, I'm a Sagittarius.
I'm a Gemini.
So what does that mean?
I can have more. I'm two.
You can do more.
That's not what
That's what I
said.
said. I can have a menage with you.
Next question.
Can I have a menage with you?
Next question is for Howie.
I'm
From,
schizophrenic, so I can always have a menage with whoever.
while we're talking mental health, Artie asks, what are your best OCD coping mechanisms?
Oh, medication.
Medication, that's
I'm
good.
medicated as
It's
we
a lot
speak.
of people and stuff and desks and surfaces.
I'm, as
Does it
we
freak you
speak,
out?
I'm on, everything freaks me out.
Yeah.
I'm medicated. I'm worried about the germs I can get from the island.
Right, from Black Island?
Go to my eye.
That's what you called it.
You're gonna get letters.
She said it was Black
No,
Island.
I was
Where are my
joking. You're being
earplugs?
serious.
I need
This is
earplugs.
wrong. She is so wrong.
That's it. I'm leaving.
Question from LB before you leave.
Oh my
when did
God.
you stop being
What year is this?
When did you stop being Scary Spice and start being Mel B?
I think I'm always going to be Scary Spice. Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah.
I've been Scary Spice for over 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't want to stop.
But I don't think I think you are Scary Spice not because you are scary. It's because she's not scared of anything. Don't you think?
There you go.
It's perfect, right?
Yeah. Well, I was scared of that snake.
That was
Really,
scary, though.
I was.
I
Yeah,
met
I
a guy named
was.
Scary Larry.
On that
Always going to be
note,
Scary Larry.
that's fantastic. I want to take this
Trying to
time.
answer your question.
This is the part where I end it. I want
Why?
to take this because there's a whole schedule and you have places to go. I don't want to take all your day.
Why do you point at something that's not a watch?
I know that if I had one, it would have.
Look,
Do you have
you've
one
got
for
places
me?
to go. Look at that.
On my arm. I'm
Why
going to
do you
spend
do that?
time on my arm. I want to thank Howie, Mel, and Heidi for taking the time to answer the questions that you, the fans, submitted. Keep sending your questions. You can tweet them, you can Facebook them, you can send a video submission, and even be a part of the show. And remember,
You know what
this
you
is
should do if you
your
don't have a
show.
much.
So don't
You
screw
should
it up.
lie on your back and use your breast as a sundial. And you can tell that's how you can tell the time.
They're
that's good
real.
She
I
has
don't
good
think it would
boobs.
work.
She
in
wouldn't
the
be on
sundial.
Howard TV if she didn't have
Send
good
us more of
Fair
these
point.
great questions.
Have you flashed
You
your
will get
boobs?
more of this mumbling.
They've always been covered.
Always been
That's
covered.
They've always been covered.
From birth.
I mean, since I was born, I came out with a bikini top on. Hope you guys had a fine time.
I did.
You don't even seem to understand the show. You just ruin everything. You got to be funny in here. I can't wait for you guys to see this on Howard TV.
Daily shows, classics, and exclusive behind-the-scenes access.
Well, that's going to be on Howard TV.
The funniest, sexiest, most star-studded network on TV is Howard TV On Demand.
What happens when Howard Stern's staff asks him the questions they've always wanted answered? It's time to Ask Howard with Rachel Fine.
And we're back for an all-new episode of Ask Howard. Are you ready?
I am ready. The last episode of Ask Howard was very exciting.
It was.
I got ridiculed for showing what was in my man purse. A lot of people called me a pussy and worse.
No.
But I am ready. It's all right. I can handle it. I've been criticized by my so-called fans before. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
First question comes to us from Shuli Agar at Howard 100 News.
When you're having a bad day, who is the most annoying person you can interact with?
Gary. When I am really ragged out and Gary says anything to me, and I see him, wolf, or he starts in the morning, I get crazy. There's no rationale for it. It doesn't make sense. I shouldn't be that way, but I am. Gary gets it.
But today he's like extra phlegmy. He was like, and he doesn't want to clear his throat in front of me, so he just gets worse and worse.
Does it often happen that, then he can't even get the words out?
Yeah. And then he walks away and he just goes, and like he waits for me to play something so he can quietly clear his throat.
In the old days, sometimes I would get annoyed with Fred because he would chew his pen when we would write together. And it would drive me crazy because he would like when Fred is thinking of something funny, he won't give you an answer like right away. He has to think. So he would chew on his pen and he'd be like, and then like his eyes would kind of go and he'd go. I used to go nuts from that. Little things would drive me crazy like that. But that's Fred's process. Fred isn't one of those guys that'll come right out with something. He likes to ruminate. And so, but Gary's my guy.
He's your guy.
Yeah, that's his main job, letting me get annoyed with him.
Nice.
Okay.
Question from John Hine.
How difficult will it be for you to finally step away from the mic?
That's a really good question. I have the feeling I don't think I could ever do it, but maybe I could. I keep fantasizing that I could, but I don't know when that would be. And, I still enjoy doing the radio show. I still get something from it. And I know that when we have time away, I'm like, wow, I need to get on the air. I start to get like a weird feeling like I've been away, and it doesn't feel right. So it would be difficult for me to stop broadcasting altogether, I think.
Do you see yourself ever retiring from any entertainment, or it's something you'll do the rest of your life?
I probably will. I mean, I don't know. It's a funny thing. I've always felt that as long as you're effective and you do your thing, hey, why not keep doing it? But it seems, how do you know when you're really being effective? It's a catch-22. So right now, I couldn't give you a date when I would stop broadcasting.
Good. Question from Richie Wilson at Howard TV.
Isn't that the inventor of the kittens?
That is the kittens inventor. Yes, it is.
That's what I thought it was.
Proud sponsor.
Yeah.
Aside from the loss of Bianca, what moment almost made you cry on the air?
A few times I got emotional when I talked about Robin. I've said some things about Robin that are from the heart.
Where I would lose courage, Robin always has the courage. She always is the brave one. Always the brave one with me. I could go to her and, I could always rely on her.
I feel very loyal to her, and she's loyal to me. Same with Fred and Gary. I would think that would be it. Bianca was, yeah, that's right. I got emotional about Bianca.
My beautiful, beautiful, wonderful dog, Bianca, died.
Yeah, I heard that. And I didn't know if you were going to bring it up.
Well, I don't want to because I will start to cry, and I don't want to cry on the air because you guys are so fucking brutal.
What else? I think, I know when my kids were born, I was happy. I didn't cry or something like that, but I remember feeling emotional. And I can't remember too many other moments, actually.
I know we just passed the 1-year anniversary for Bianca. Does it still kind of choke you up to think about?
Yeah. Beth and I love that dog. That was a great, great dog. And, Beth and I don't have children of our own, so, I have my kids. But we never shared having a child, and Bianca really was our child. So it was tough.
Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk with us. This was awesome.
You're right. It was awesome, and so were you. We should be very proud of ourselves.
Oh, I'm proud.
You don't even seem to understand the show. You just ruin everything. You got to be funny in here. I can't wait for you guys to see this on Howard TV.
Daily shows, classics, and exclusive behind-the-scenes access.
Well, that's going to be on Howard TV.
The funniest, sexiest, most star-studded network on TV is Howard TV On Demand.
When Howard Stern's staff asks him the questions they've always wanted answered. It's time to Ask Howard with Rachel Fine.
And we're back for an all-new episode of Ask Howard. Are you ready?
I am ready. The last episode of Ask Howard was very exciting.
It was.
I got ridiculed for showing what was in my man purse. A lot of people called me a pussy and worse.
No.
But I am ready. It's all right. I can handle it. I've been criticized by my so-called fans before. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
First question comes to us from Shuli Agar at Howard 100 News.
When you're having a bad day, who is the most annoying person you can interact with?
Gary. When I am really ragged out and Gary says anything to me, and I see him, wolf, or he starts in the morning, I get crazy. There's no rationale for it. It doesn't make sense. I shouldn't be that way, but I am. Gary gets it.
But today he's like extra phlegmy. He was like, and he doesn't want to clear his throat in front of me, so he just gets worse and worse.
Does it often happen that, then he can't even get the words out?
Yeah. And then he walks away and he just goes, and like he waits for me to play something so he can quietly clear his throat.
In the old days, sometimes I would get annoyed with Fred because he would chew his pen when we would write together. And it would drive me crazy because he would when Fred is thinking of something funny, he won't give you an answer right away. He has to think. So he would chew on his pen and he'd be like, and then like his eyes would kind of go and he'd go. I used to go nuts from that. Little things would drive me crazy like that. But that's Fred's process. Fred isn't one of those guys that'll come right out with something. He likes to ruminate. And so, but Gary's my guy.
He's your guy.
Yeah, that's his main job, letting me get annoyed with him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Question from John Hine.
How difficult will it be for you to finally step away from the mic?
That's a really good question. I have the feeling I don't think I could ever do it, but maybe I could. I keep fantasizing that I could, but I don't know when that would be. And, I still enjoy doing the radio show. I still get something from it. And I know that when we have time away, I'm like, wow, I need to get on the air. I start to get like a weird feeling like I've been away, you know, and it doesn't feel right. So it would be difficult for me to stop broadcasting altogether, I think.
Do you see yourself ever retiring from any entertainment, or it's something you'll do the rest of your life?
I probably will. I mean, I don't know. You know, it's a funny thing. I've always felt that as long as you're effective and you do your thing, hey, why not keep doing it? But it seems, how do you know when you're really being effective? It's a catch-22. So right now, I couldn't give you a date when I would stop broadcasting.
Good. Question from Richie Wilson at Howard TV.
Isn't that the inventor of the shittens?
That is the shittens inventor. Yes, it is.
That's what I thought it was.
Proud sponsor.
Yeah.
Aside from the loss of Bianca, what moment almost made you cry on the air?
A few times I got emotional when I talked about Robin. I've said some things about Robin that are from the heart.
Where I would lose courage, Robin always has the courage. She always is the brave one. Always the brave one with me. I could go to her and, you know, I could always rely on her.
I feel very loyal to her, and she's loyal to me. Same with Fred and Gary. I would think that would be it. Bianca was, yeah, that's right. I got emotional about Bianca.
My beautiful, beautiful, wonderful dog, Bianca, died.
Yeah, I heard that. And I didn't know if you were going to bring it up.
Well, I don't want to because I will start to cry, and I don't want to cry on the air because you guys are so fucking brutal.
What else? I think, you know, I know when my kids were born I was happy. I didn't cry or something like that, but I remember feeling emotional. And there's, I can't remember too many other moments, actually.
I know we just passed the 1-year anniversary for Bianca. Does it still kind of choke you up to think about?
Yeah. Beth and I love that dog. That was a great, great dog. And, you know, Beth and I don't have children of our own. So, you know, I have my kids, but we never shared having a child. And Bianca really was our child. So it was tough. It was tough.
Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk with us. This was awesome.
You're right. It was awesome. And so were you. We should be very proud of ourselves.
Oh, I'm proud.
Let's go over that.
I'll take care of this. At the end, you know, he's got his band, Goody Mob. They're like and we promised we would talk to those guys at the end.
All right, I'll talk to them.
One more. You know, I think, by the way, I think you'll probably want to.
CeeLo Green is a judge on The Voice. He also has had multiple Grammys, hit songs, an incredible life, which I don't know how many people are aware of CeeLo's life. Look at that. There you are, man.
Hey, man.
Look at this.
How are you?
Wow. World-famous CeeLo.
I was about to say the same thing about you, Howard.
I was reading CeeLo is, of course, not your real name, but a nickname given to you.
Yeah, my name is Carlo.
Carlo, so it became CeeLo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carlo. Carlo, CeeLo, great to see you.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
When you leave The Voice, I mean, The Voice has been great for your career because so many of us get to know you as a person as opposed to just the singer.
Yes.
Why leave for a whole year? I mean, you're on a roll. The show is a phenomenal hit for NBC, and they need hits. I mean, you've got to be very, very valuable to them.
Definitely.
Why leave for a year, let Usher take over? You know what I mean? Like, why not just stick with it?
Well, it really wasn't my idea, but we did discuss prior to about the option of maybe switching out the coaches here and there whenever, an event may have presented itself where someone wanted to do something outside of the show.
So it wasn't your idea. It was NBC said, hey, we need to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think maybe the second or third season, maybe the ratings started to slip a little bit, and they were trying to figure out how they could
jack it up.
Yeah, just a bit, and I also had some other things I wanted to do because I had already had a prior obligation to go to Vegas, and I did a residency there for about 2 months.
When you say a residency, in other words, 2 months at the same venue.
Yeah.
And you do the show every night from that venue.
Yes.
Which is a great deal for an artist, right? You don't have to go on the road. You don't have to travel. It's all the same theater.
I rather enjoyed it. Yes, I really enjoyed doing Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, when you do a show like The Voice, does your price then go up as a performer because everyone just kind of wants to be around the guy from The Voice?
It doesn't hurt in negotiations,
Were you upset that Adam Levine and Blake Shelton were asked to stay on, and the idea of changing it up was changing you out and Christina Aguilera?
I was not. You know what? I gotta say that I probably came on with the assumption that not what expendable is a strong word. I didn't think that I was as well known. I mean, like maybe some people even questioned, my
being there in the first place.
Exactly.
Right.
And so I had to put in a lot of work to really to distinguish myself, and I think I ended up making myself irreplaceable on the show. Actually.
Well, is that what this year proved? In other words, Usher filled in for you.
Yeah.
Did you watch it when Usher was on?
I watched some of it, and I got the opportunity to see why it's such a great show, to see it from a fan's perspective.
Right.
And I said, this is a really great premise and really great concept.
Did you get aggravated when you'd see Usher and say, what if he does a better job? What if he's sort of more attractive in this role than I am?
Well, I assumed that he knew he'd had some big shoes to fill coming into the show.
Right.
But no, I wasn't threatened by his temporary position because I knew that he wouldn't do exactly what I did and probably would try to find his own niche there.
Were you hoping that the ratings would drop with him there?
I just kind of assumed that they would.
And they did, didn't they? A little bit. A little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit, but enough that they
Are
said...
you blaming Usher?
Yes.
No. I'm not blaming Usher. You know what? If I would have shared the show with anybody, it would have been Usher. We grew up together.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we both come from Atlanta, Georgia. We started from the same music collective, the Dungeon Family, that spawned my original group, Goody Mob and Outkast, and a host of others. So.
I didn't realize how, shitty your childhood really was.
Yeah.
I kind of like, I started to look into you, and I said, it was a really bad background. And it is amazing that you overcame the background.
Yeah.
And sort of became this big success in the music industry. Because, you were kind of on your way to the thug life, weren't you? You were robbing homeless people.
Yeah, I did that before.
You were beating, you were abusive to animals even.
Once before, yes.
Yes, and what does that mean, being abusive to animals? Like, what would you do?
Well, it's a very, very peculiar story. But we were kids, and there was a bird with a broken wing, and we weren't so kind to. And I was kind of speaking about that one incident, but it wasn't something habitual, something that
You had an anger inside of you. You probably still. Are you in therapy at all?
I've gone to therapy.
Right, because the kind of anger you had, I'm going back to your parents now, where you grew up. Both your parents were ministers, right?
Yes.
Your father died when you were 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right? That's got to make a kid angry right off the bat.
That's right.
All right? Your dad is taken from you. Your mom, at the age of 16, when you were 16 years old, your mom gets in a car accident, and she becomes what, a paraplegic? A quadriplegic.
Yeah.
Did you have to take care of your mother?
I did.
You did. And that makes you even angrier, because as a kid, you don't have a father there, and your mother, who's supposed to be taking care of you now, is paralyzed, and now suddenly you're put in the father-mother role.
Right.
That must have made you furious.
Most certainly.
Right.
The most helpless I've ever felt.
Right. And so even that kind of anger, to get rid of it or to live with it, it's almost impossible, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So do you think that's why you went out and attacked people?
Yeah, I definitely had some unfocused and unaddressed energy and trauma.
Yeah. Did you have any kind of mentors when you were growing up who said to you, listen, this kind of anger, we understand what you're going through, son. This is bad for you, but, you got to rise above it.
Yeah, I remember, having a couple of, there was something called a Big Brother program, and
right.
I remember my mother associating with that, and I remember Mr. Bailey, that's his name, used to come by and take me to baseball practice and stuff like that.
So those programs really do work, the Big Brother program where somebody at least takes an interest in you.
Yeah. It kind of soothes it over just a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And then your mom, after the accident, she died 2 years later.
She did.
So you were basically left without any parents or any sort of any kind of guidance system, right?
I had my grandmother, and we were actually all living at my grandmother's house. My grandmother had been a registered nurse for about 20 years, and so my sister also took off from school and became a nurse, and we took care of my mother at home. And at the same time, my grandmother was very sick as well. And I think my mother kind of decided, well, if nobody's going to take better care of me than my grandmother, and so if she's not going to be here, then I don't want to be here either. And I saw her make a decision to move on.
And when you're growing up like that, was music always in your life? Did everyone always consider you a musician, or were they shocked that you suddenly became a musician?
Well, music was not so. I'm probably the most accomplished, but my auntie, is and was a lounge singer, and
right.
So I didn't even stay with my mother a lot when I was growing up. I stayed with my auntie a lot, and so I think she understood the plight of artistry as it's taking shape and form, and so she gave me as much support as she could have.
What did you learn piano? Was that your first instrument?
Drums?
Drums.
Yeah, but they say if you can play the piano, you can play anything.
Right, and then you learned then you learned piano.
Yes, sir.
And were you a genius at the piano? Were you the type that the teacher immediately goes, "Hey,
nope.
CeeLo, you're unbelievable at this"?
I was never a genius, and I'm still not.
No, well, let's be fair. You've written your share of hit songs,
yes.
And even at a young age, you got picked up by record companies. How old were you when you got your first record contract?
17.
17 years old. That's considered a prodigy, in my opinion. No,
my mother passed away. She got injured at 16, so my mother passed away the year that my album was being released.
Jeez, she never got to see your success.
She got a chance to hear it. She got a chance to hear that first promotional copy. And my sister was telling me the story. I never knew it until a great while after, but she said that she was there along with her, and she said, well, I want to hear the music. And I think it gave her some closure.
So literally on her deathbed, she got to hear your music.
She did.
And she probably went, oh, my God, this is unbelievable that my son could be doing this.
Right.
And all the years you were acting out, you were involved with music, too. So, like, when you would go out and, I don't know, mug a guy or rob somebody, you even rob people of their jewelry and things like that.
I did.
Why do you think you didn't go to the life of crime? Because of music?
Well, I mean, criminology is also a talent or a genius, if you will, and I think that it's I think I could be described as an artist without an outlet. I didn't realize that it was something formally that I could do. I thought it was something that I was a little shy about it initially, but
yeah, that probably sounds weird to people. That a criminal does have a certain artistry. Anything that you're good at requires
a lot.
Being an artist.
Awful lot of focus, yeah.
Right. And so this was your focus, and you were good at it.
It became a power, yeah.
You never got caught robbing anyone?
I got caught doing some shoplifting. I became pretty fond of that.
What is the most amount of money you've ever stolen?
Never cash, just like items. Like, there was a time, you may remember this epidemic, if you will, of starter jackets, the team jackets.
Yeah.
This was going on in many major cities of where, kids were getting killed and,
over sneakers, over jackets. Yeah.
So I never killed anyone, and I became like the character Debo in Friday, you know what I mean, where people would see me coming, and I used to do what was called strong arm robbery. I never had to, it was never armed robbery. I was just like, give it to me.
You never did a break-in? You did a break-in.
I've done a couple of break-ins.
And what'd you steal? Mostly jewelry?
Whatever we could snatch and grab, basically.
Right. So, I mean, if you were that good at it, which it sounds like you were, and you were sort of a tough guy too, right? I mean, you could handle yourself in a fight.
Yeah.
You're a powerful guy. Did you ever beat someone up to the point where they were unconscious?
Maybe they came to after we were gone.
Yeah. But because, I don't know, you seem like such a gentle spirit, like almost like a hippie in a weird way. And yet, when I read about your background, you were this tough thug.
You know what, man? It's only I only mention it because it's such a testimony. I really would love for people to know the true story and the very humble beginnings that I come from.
Yeah.
And what a change I've been able to make. Like, music saved my life.
It really did.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have ended up in jail or dead or something.
As many of my other friends.
Were you ever formerly a member of a gang of some sort of gang?
Well, gangs weren't really big in Atlanta, Georgia, where I'm from.
Right.
Just rival high schools, and so. But there was some gang association.
And rival high schools. Sounds like it's sort of fun. It's very vicious. But my high school had Roosevelt High School had a war going with Malvern High School.
Right.
And everyone pulled out knives. I saw people get stabbed. And I mean, you're talking about it's vicious sometimes. Makes no sense.
Knives and bats and crowbars and stuff like that. So I lived right across the street from a park called the Rec. It was short for the recreation center.
Right.
And I was an underclassman, but the high school was this way and the middle school this way, and the rival high school was right around the corner. And so after a football game, everybody would come to this Rec, and it was like a scene from The Outsiders, Pony Boy and Dally. It was big high school fights.
And you had to fight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and you could handle yourself.
I was an onlooker at the time, and I kind of wanted to get involved. I'm like, wow, look at that,
Yeah, like you kind of going, am I man enough to go in and fight this fight?
I think that's the way that we kind of sit and root at boxing matches. Like, if I was in there, I would hit him with a left. No, go this way, go this way. You kind of root on as if to say, if I was in your position, I would have done this.
So what's so weird to me is here's a guy who's stealing and fights and stuff, and then also getting a record contract at 17. It's weird.
Well, I've got to give a lot of credit to my aunt. She
did a lot of the guys you were hanging with, did they get jealous when you started to get successful?
No, because almost everybody who I was friends with, we all ended up miraculously doing music. Like whether it be Andre 3000 from Outkast, like we went to elementary school together.
You knew Andre 2000 from that guy's a genius, right?
Yeah, smart.
Would you say did you recognize his musical abilities when he was young?
Not so much. We were all like what you call play cousins, so we were very close as friends.
Did you ever collaborate with him?
Yeah, my debut was on their first album.
Oh, it was? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so when you lay down at night, do you ever think back on those days and feel guilty, or you just say, hey, fuck it, I'm glad I got out of that whole thing?
No, I do. I feel a great deal of remorse, and a lot of what my motivation is to outshine, and outdo, and rectify a lot of that wrong,
Yeah. I would think mugging a person, though, when you feel so powerless in your life, the only way you can feel powerful is to physically take over someone.
Yeah.
And take something from them and actually physically dominate them.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense? And instead of just like lashing out and understanding that you're angry because your mother's gone, your father died when you were 2, you're just this misery.
Right.
Somehow it makes you feel better to mug someone. It sounds weird, but maybe that's the way it operates.
Well, yeah, as they say, hurt people hurt people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hurt people.
I know
hurt
Mike
people.
Tyson, when he was in, also said he was afraid all the time. That's one of the other motivating factors. If you're fearful, you want to put on this brave front.
Yeah, maybe
and
that's
prove
it.
that you're a tough guy.
I read an interview with Vin Diesel,
Right.
and he said something that was pretty profound, and I was able to relate to it. He said that the artistry, the purity in heart, he knew growing up in New York City that this was something that he would need to protect.
Yeah.
And I was really moved by that. I said, yeah, I think I kind of felt like that.
Your first couple of albums were not commercial successes. Your first couple of albums were with the Goody Mob, right?
Yes.
And you guys get this deal with a record label, and you probably assume, hey, once I get a record deal, my life's set, man. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be on tour. It's going to be great. It doesn't work like that, does it?
It does not work like that. We did our first album for $20,000, and there's 4 of us, so we got $5,000 a piece.
Yeah.
I thought I was rich.
Yeah.
And
the record company kind of pumps you up. Hey, it's going to be big. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. And then it kind of just doesn't go anywhere.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't, and it's weird. Was the Goody Mob like? Were you guys just distraught when the record doesn't make it, or you just? What's the feeling there?
I don't think there was any other option. I think we just had that camaraderie and that bond that we had all gone to school and grew up together in the same neighborhood, and so we had each other at least. And so we did an awful lot of traveling and really working that album up into it took us a year, but we worked it, toured it until it became a gold album, and we ultimately went on to have 3 consecutive gold albums.
Isn't it amazing when you are on The Voice and you see some people there who are older and they want this success? Don't you almost want to grab them and say, don't you know how hard I had to work to get this success? It's not a question of being a great technical singer, perhaps.
Right, exactly.
It's really about writing songs, learning how to maintain an audience, how to work that audience, how to please an audience live. It's almost impossible to go on The Voice and win and then have this huge career. There's got to be this hard work period of time, right?
It's very surreal, and that's the humility, that's the genuineness I think that people feel from me. I'm just in as much awe of it as anybody else. I'm just very thankful, very grateful, and trying to earn the privilege that I've been given, trying to deserve it more and more.
Why did you break up with the Goody Mob? Was it because the group wasn't having enough success for you, or and then your trajectory, if I got it right, was Goody Mob, Gnarls Barkley?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Goody Mob breaks up. Are those guys pissed at you because here you put in all this time with them and then you just leave?
Well, our third album, World Party, was just more of an artistic difference. I think I just wanted to go in a different direction, and I thought hip hop, or rap music was limiting, and I knew that I was capable of more. Didn't quite know what the future would hold for me, but I was willing to take that leap, And we discussed it, and we went in different directions, and mine happened to pan out for me, and then also a number of different things happened. A member, Cujo, was in a car accident as well and lost a leg. And, so a couple of,
Cars keep fucking up your life, don't they, man? Between your mother and Cujo, right?
But ironically enough, it brought us all back together because we hadn't talked. We most certainly hadn't worked together. But
it was a nasty breakup?
Yeah, no, it wasn't really nasty, but people try to make it a lot nastier than it was. We really communicated all throughout what kind of spilled over out into the public.
Gnarls Barkley was you and that guy Danger Mouse.
Yeah.
And Danger Mouse has gone on to a big career as well.
Yeah.
Are you still friends with That's the guy with the fucking mouse head, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Isn't that weird, man? Like, you got to work with a mouse head on? I mean...
You know what? It's something that you definitely take notice to. It's pretty absurd, but he was talented. And
but Danger Mouse is the music guy, right?
Yeah, he's a producer.
He's a producer.
Yeah.
And you're really the front man of Gnarls Barkley.
Yes.
I mean, you're singing, you're doing the whole thing.
I write the songs.
Why did you and Danger Mouse break up? I mean, what was the beef? Because you guys don't get along now, do you?
No, we do, actually.
You do?
No, well, but again, I had... Well, let me say this. We're cool, and we didn't really know what to expect from Gnarls Barkley. We did it out of pocket. We did it independently.
Right.
Not really knowing what to expect. I liked what he did. He played me some tracks. I did a remix to a song for another project he was working on. And in this recording session, he said to me, hey, if you don't mind, if you got a little time, I want to play you a couple other things. I said, sure. And he played me some things. I said, wow, this is amazing. I said, I'd like to use a couple of these tracks. And he said, well, I didn't realize he was bluffing me until years later. He said, well, I don't just do tracks, I do albums. And I said, well, shit, let's do an album.
Right. And that's why the name Gnarls Barkley? I always think, is it? I don't even know that story. Is it because Charles Barkley?
Well, yeah, it's just kind of like good old-fashioned rock and roll. It's just absurd enough to be, quotable. So we went from Gnarls Barkley to Prince Gnarls and Gnarls in Charge and Bob Gnarly.
CeeLo, how does it work? Well, if a guy comes to you and plays great tracks like Danger Mouse did, what do you do? Then you got to sit down and figure out what the lead vocal is and where to go with that song? Is that how it works? Like you got to go off into a room somewhere and figure that all out?
Well, it's like, it can happen either one or two ways. It can totally compel some real life experience, or it can, something can be highly imaginative. It's like that broken heart pendant. Sometimes the singer and the track itself, come together. It's like, oh, like we found each other. We found it's like rekindled, so to speak. So his music really compelled a really deep introspection, and I realized that this producer, was as troubled, and as miserable as I was at the time, going through a divorce, losing my record deal, and having just enough money to do that album.
When you were in Gnarls Barkley, the song "Crazy,"
yeah,
that was what you and Danger Mouse did together.
That's right.
And Crazy is the first song that really breaks big, or was
the big one.
That was the big one, right?
Yeah.
How many people have recorded the song Crazy? I mean, besides yourself?
Oh, I mean, everybody from Nelly Furtado to Ray LaMontagne to Billy Idol. I've seen him sing it.
And isn't it financially fantastic when someone else records your song? Because that's ka-ching time, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Every artist I ever spoke to said that's where it's at, cover versions.
It's the honor of it, the compliment of it, to have connected with so many people I've never met, and to feel so alone in that emotion, and it be shared with so many people throughout the world is very sweet.
When, you know, so many people respond to this song. It's so great. How many did you win Grammys for this one?
Yes, sir.
How many did you win?
2.
2 Grammys.
Yes.
For songwriting and for what, like Record of the Year or something?
I think we lost our Record of the Year, but I think we got Video of the Year for this.
Who did you lose to for Record of the Year on this one?
Oh, I can't remember.
I'll tell you who it was.
Dixie Chicks.
That's right,
That's
Dixie
right.
Chicks.
I remember.
That's right. Did that piss you off?
Yeah, it seemed a little politically incorrect, but yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little disappointing, no doubt.
It was disappointing because you
get mad?
Well, you think because your song was better, right? You're saying?
Well, I had heard my song more often. I had never even heard the song, so I was like, wow, okay.
Do you have a favorite cover version of this song?
They're all wonderful.
Beyonce did a version. Is that that's a great honor, right?
It's a great honor.
Did she record it on one of her albums, Crazy?
I was going to say, are all of these recorded? Or
Well,
are
I know she does a live rendition of it because she kind of mashes it up with Crazy in Love, and I know she does it.
But we don't like when they do the live version on tour because we can't get paid for that, right? You only get paid when they record it and put it on an album. Am I correct or am I incorrect?
You're correct, but the compliment is priceless.
It is?
Yeah.
Do you ever fantasize about being married to a woman like Beyonce? When I think about Jay-Z and Beyonce, I think about, wow, what a powerful couple, and how comforting to have a wife who's a big earner like that. Or do you think it would be intimidating?
No, I can handle her.
You could handle it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You attracted her?
She's a very powerful woman.
Not your type?
Not necessarily my type, though.
Who is your type? You know, I always thought you were gay.
Who are you dating? Have you ever been married?
Yeah, yes, he was married. And you have a biological child.
I have a biological son.
And you adopted her 2 daughters.
That's right.
But then you guys broke up. What broke you up? The fame?
Irreconcilable differences.
Is it?
No.
You cheated?
I didn't cheat.
Really?
I'm a loyalist, man. I'm a loyal dog.
But wasn't it difficult? The more fame you got, the Grammys come and the money comes.
I'll tell you something sweet about it. After our divorce, we were talking, and it was right after our divorce that Gnarls Barkley came about.
Right.
And she called me, and she said, wow, congratulations. She said, if I had known that I was holding you back from this, I would have let go a long time ago.
What a loving thing to say.
Yeah.
Was she holding you back from that in a way? Because is marriage too domestic for you that you've got to be free to go out at night? Musician's life is at night and hanging out and sort of connecting with different musicians.
You know what? I think love in layman's terms would be defined as being out of control.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I would have sacrificed. I would have never known this reality out of that love for her.
But why wouldn't Gnarls Barkley come about if you were married? I mean, I don't understand
because,
that.
Ironically enough, the incident inspired the album. Saint Elsewhere kind of is symbolically about sailing away from her.
So
the title track is about my divorce.
Are you saying that sometimes artists have to be in great pain in order to create great music?
Out of atrocity comes art.
Right. So the breakup broke your heart so much. Was Crazy about that breakup?
Well, Crazy was about my insistence on being an individual, and we had this conversation, me and Danger, about being called crazy, and it's something that I just resented so much my entire life. I'm like, I'm actually a very sensible guy, you know what I'm saying? And I was only confirmed this when I was, I acquired a songwriting skill, and I could see my sensibility in lyric, and I'm like, no, I'm all right.
Are you a drug guy at all? Were you ever into drugs?
I'm not a big drug guy. I can't say that I am.
Because some artists think they need to get high in order to sort of create.
No. I'm naturally a wildflower.
All right. I think so. Why did people think you were so crazy? Because of your background, because of your past as a criminal, kind of thing. Yeah,
it's pretty dynamic. Those who knew me, like to be able to embody those extremities. You know, I'm a Gemini, if that helps make any sense.
Yeah, the reason I said I thought you were gay is I didn't know much about you when I saw you on The Voice and stuff, and sometimes you'd wear like almost like a dress or something.
Just because of the costume?
The costuming made me think, well, hey, you know, this brother might be gay. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know.
No,
you can't dress up unless you're gay.
But actually, further from the truth, you are a womanizer, aren't you? I mean, you love pussy. Is it fair to say that? You love pussy so much.
Well, you can tell that on the show when he turns that chair and sees a beautiful girl.
Have you ever fucked a contestant? Has that ever happened?
I haven't gotten the opportunity to. I've tried.
I'm so sorry.
I've exchanged some numbers.
Right. I
fucked an audience member.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you?
How did you do that? How did you fuck one of the audience members? Because I know on America's Got Talent.
How do you get to the audience?
Where I'm a judge like you.
I sent somebody.
I find it difficult to connect with the audience that way.
Well, you know,
you spotted somebody in the audience?
Yeah, but as you know, those television stagings, they're a lot smaller than they appear.
Yes, they are.
So I call a wink from somebody. It's like, hey, I like
white woman or black woman?
Black woman.
Black woman.
Yeah.
Do you fuck everybody, or are you strictly a black guy?
No, but I mean, I'm so internationally renowned.
You're open to everything.
I kind of have to just
Have you fucked an Asian woman?
Yeah, but not for free.
You had to pay. Where did you pay an Asian woman to have sex with you?
I got a great massage from a beautiful Asian woman in Japan. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding! And then she gave you a happy ending.
She did, but she was gorgeous, just like the ad. She was the exact same.
She
person.
looked like the ad.
Did you have any? So in other words, you had an idea when you go in there it was a rub and tug kind of thing, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, because I have gotten massages throughout my life, on and off. No one has ever jerked me off. What is that feeling like when the woman puts
I don't believe it, Howard Stern. You're such a stud.
No, it's so fucking true. I mean, one time I did have an opportunity, but I have a small penis and I was embarrassed.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I do. Are you well hung?
You know what, man? There's a difference between car and driver. I'm a great driver.
Oh, I see. So you're small.
No.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I have a decent-sized dick.
You do?
I saw my friend had a porno on his phone yesterday, and he has an exceptional dick.
Really? You mean this was a friend of yours that shot his own porn?
No. I don't know who the actor was, but he's got a Bravo from us. Maybe I could show it to you or something. But
are you over 9 inches?
No.
No, you're like 7?
I say 7.
7. Everybody I know is above average. Except me.
But I thought 7 was average.
No, 5 is considered average.
Really?
I have 6, and I'm stretched. I'm measuring from my balls. So I'm a bad driver with a bad car.
Stop.
Yeah. I lose on every situation.
I just can't believe it, man. You're too much of a stud.
So go back to your musical career for a second.
Okay.
So Crazy comes out, and that's when the money starts to roll in, right? I mean, you're worth about $21 million, I read.
That's what
true?
they're saying. Not anymore. I mean, I used to be. I was rich at one time, but now I'm just fortunate after taxes.
But is that because of your divorce? Did you lose it? But you didn't lose a lot of money there because you were kind of broke.
I didn't have any money
right.
when I got divorced. No, but and because of that, because of her grace, she's she's still a very well taken care of.
You will, even though you don't legally have to contribute, you do.
I just love her. I still love her. Ironically enough, the divorce gave forth an opportunity for me to showcase the unconditional love that I actually do have.
When you started to make money, and I mean real money, did you become I want to say uncomfortable with the money because you hadn't had a lot of money your whole life? You were a struggling guy. Did it make you feel a little bizarre to suddenly, I don't know?
I'm not really materialistic, and I'm not an asshole in that kind of way.
Right.
And it's cool. I mean, it usually happens to people, and it's all right. It's probably natural to go for it in that kind of way. But my greatest extremity is probably clothes and jewelry, and I do a lot of that for stage. And the only reason it becomes
Did you buy a nice house?
I still don't have a house.
How do you live in hotels?
Mostly, but I have a place in L.A.
You rent it?
I rent. A lot of people don't know, The Voice, and a lot of these TV shows, they kind of have housing budgets and traveling budgets, and so The Voice pays for my house in L.A.
Isn't it weird that you don't have a house? I mean, that would seem like a good investment, somewhere to put all your stuff, and call your own.
But it's just like a house is just not a home. You know what I'm saying? So
because you can't live there anyway.
No, and I have a ranch. I have a 10-acre ranch outside of Atlanta, Georgia, that I'm thinking about putting on the market, but I was kind of just holding on to it.
Why? Because you never can get there.
Because I've always wanted to leave, and this is, music is also a way to immortalize your ideal, and your existence here. You know what I mean? And so it's very important to me to do that with this opportunity. And so I kept this ranch because I want to leave a legacy. I've always wanted to give it away. So I feel I've taken so much. My spirit has, it's kind of evolved on to more of something philanthropist, if that's even a word.
You think you'll ever get married again, or will you just live this bachelor lifestyle? It seems to me you're totally comfortable now where you're at.
I'm very comfortable, and I do have a significant other in my life right now.
Oh, you do? You're in love?
Well, I love her for who she is. I love her for allowing me to be myself. So she's not threatened by all of the other women.
How long you been with her?
I've been with her 2 years, and
no other women. You're exclusive with her.
Well, we like women together.
Oh, you do? Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Yeah. Is that a weird move?
Where do you find a woman like that?
Yeah. Tell us where you get that.
She's exceptional, and I felt like I must have done something right.
This woman, how do you meet this woman, this exceptional woman?
Can I tell you the story?
Yeah, I'd love to hear this. I love love.
We were just meeting. We were just getting to New York and to L.A.
Right.
And I was at a car lot, and my back was turned to the street, and they were at a red light, and I heard somebody say, "I love you. Great job. I love your music." She said, "I love you," and I turned around and said, "Me?" And the
white chick, black chick, what is she?
Black chick, and the fact that she recognized me in my background. I mean, I went from being a very peculiar-looking person to one of the most
cool kind of guy. Yeah,
one of the most recognizable people you can see.
Yeah.
So apparently that's the truth. And I turned around and said, "Well, come and meet me," and I saved her number. And I saved it under, she could be the one, the way that she approached me. She's very, very fearless.
You weren't put off by that, the fact that she was a fan and she was like, "Hey, I think you're great, blah, blah, blah." Like, right away, she's worshiping you. You didn't get hung up on that.
I didn't get hung up on that. Maybe it was the way that she was dressed. Maybe it was the way that she spoke, her business card. Very accomplished, very educated, has her own money.
Has her own business?
Yeah.
What type of work is she into?
She's in health education.
And so, right from the beginning, you become lovers.
Yeah.
And it works out. How do you make that move into threesomes and stuff and bringing other chicks into the bed?
Well, it was gradual, but I was just very open about other, relationships that were lingering on.
Right. You weren't willing to give those up, in other words. You knew people before her, and you said, "Look, these are people I'm going to continue to see. I'm not looking to give it up."
It was maybe 2 other people, and it wasn't lack of love for those other people. It was just logistics.
Yeah.
Someone living out of state and us carrying on, from a long distance kind of perspective.
She didn't get jealous that you were still seeing other people, and here she's falling in love with you?
She was honored by my honesty.
She was.
And since then, I have shared every single detail. I've even gone back and talked about things that aren't even necessary just to have her be. It makes me feel, I don't even like the feeling of keeping any secrets from her.
I find that so difficult, though, to negotiate. Does she go out and fuck other guys?
No, she has no desire.
See, that's the point.
Yeah.
If she came home to you and said, "Listen, I'm going out and fucking other guys," you would no way be able to handle that.
I just told her if she ever had that desire, would she just please let me know, like honor me with the same honesty.
Right. And so,
what are you going to do when she's that honest?
It's going to dump her.
Right.
Well, I mean, I tried to think it through. I mean, it probably would be a little unsettling to begin with.
You wouldn't feel honored then, I'm telling you.
I wouldn't feel honored, but
yeah, right.
I think I would respect it. But, the difference between, men and women is
But don't you think she's just putting up with it because she doesn't want to lose CeeLo? It's probably exciting to be with CeeLo.
Yeah, she wouldn't be like this with any other guy. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I think, just from her description that she's been in she's tried to play the straight and narrow. She's actually, got a bit of that in her own system, and she's, she enjoys me, giving her that liberty.
Right.
You can have freedom, but somebody has to give you liberty.
So you don't bring these women home to her. You don't do a threesome thing. You go out and fuck, and then you come home and you say, "Hey, look, I just want you to know I was with someone when I was on the road."
Well, no, because she's most certainly in health education, and she said to me, like, if you ever, I want you to do whatever makes you happy.
Right.
So if ever, like you do something outside of me, make sure you protect yourself,
right,
because I cherish my quality of life.
Right.
And so just even with that, and she's beautiful. So anything beneath her bar is not even worth my time or energy.
So there are no threesomes going on?
We had one once or twice, but it's still new. You know what I mean? But
yeah, was it weird though when you did the threesome? Because she's got to get weird with it, and also it's probably like, This is going to sound weird, but I almost don't want to share. I don't want to share my wife even with a woman. Like
I saw that. Yeah, I've had that feeling. I had to get over it. And it was just this faint whisper, like, "Are you sure this is what you want?" Now, this is manly. This is very macho. But I believe that if she wasn't, if I had never seen her in that context, maybe it was something that that she wouldn't be being honest in. And she seemed to enjoy herself.
Are you thinking marriage with her or no way? It's
Everybody else is. We're damn close. Same matching outfits like his and hers, t-shirts and stuff.
Oh, no
like
kidding.
That. We're having a lot of fun.
You seem very comfortable with your weight. It seems like you carry your weight really well. Like you're not uptight about it.
No, I've said on occasion that I'm not out of shape. It's just the shape I'm in.
Right. So in other words, are you trying to lose weight or is this just your look?
Can I tell you something? I just got through meeting the incomparable Tony Orlando the other day.
Tony Orlando and Dawn. We all love that, right?
So he said, don't lose weight.
Why? He lost weight.
He did, actually. But he told me, and I've heard this on a couple of occasions, because it's your brand now. Of course, I want to be healthy. I was brand ambassador for E-Diets, so I actually lost about 25 pounds.
But what do you mean? Of course you want to be healthy.
But, you want to be healthy, and when people are advising you not to lose weight,
well, I know what he meant.
Compromising.
Well, I know what he meant, Rob. I think it's just my weight, it represents that working class quality, that boy that
wear flowing clothes.
Some people do look bad heavy. You do
Get
look
healthy.
good. I know what they're saying. You know what I mean? You got a good look going, that kind of thing.
I think people are my sex appeal is just as surprising as my success.
There's a certain way a heavy guy has to dress, and most heavy people don't understand that.
They do not.
They wear shitty clothes. They wear them too fucking tight, and they look like hell warmed over.
They
you know what I mean? You got a whole look going. Like even that sweater you're wearing today. I mean, it's got a nice look to it. You know what I'm saying? When you get naked in front of a new woman, all right, do you think about your weight? Do you go, shit, man, I wish I was more ripped. I wish I was in more shape.
I do not. I mean, because I'm always there to second the emotion, for any individual brave enough to, to give me that opportunity. I want to prove her right, and I believe that it's such a turn on because it's like what Al Pacino said in Devil's Advocate. They don't necessarily see me coming. I get a kick out of that.
Do you? I think most women probably find you non-threatening too because you're a little bit heavy. They're like, oh, I hug them like a big teddy bear. I can imagine that. Have you fucked tons of women? Have you had tons of women?
I haven't had enough because I was, the nature of the music that we did as Goody Mob was very politically charged and socially conscious, and it didn't attract an awful lot of groupies. And then I was married, for that stint between leaving the group and going into solo career in Gnarls Barkley. And I was loyal to that. And Gnarls Barkley was about being crazy and surreal and all cerebral, and it wasn't really sexy. It wasn't until Lady Killer that I got a chance to express that side of myself.
Yeah, and if anything, the voice brings tons of pussy, right? All of TV is just like a magnet for that kind of stuff.
But you know what, man? It's not as fun as it once was. I wish I was in the heyday of hair metal and Sunset Strip with Motley Crue. And those are my fantasies of rock and roll.
Right.
But it's not like that anymore. It's fucking Instagram and Twitter and, girls getting a kick out of just, taking a picture while you sleep with your dick shrivel up. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, right. It is scary. It is scary.
I'm afraid of that.
Yeah, I hear you. It is turned into very embarrassing things. People.
Can I say something since I'm here and I have an opportunity?
Yeah.
I want to apologize to you because I know that I offended you with something that I said. I made a joke about Adam Levine's cologne.
Oh yeah, you said I remember what you're saying. You said if I remember, they said, well, gee, if Adam had a cologne, what would it smell like? And you said it would smell like a Jew.
I said it would smell Jewish.
You smell Jewish. Yeah, I don't know. I'm ultra sensitive to that. I bet I bet you understand this because I've seen so much shit. Growing up.
Fuck yeah.
That I am ultra sensitive to it.
No, he's a very good friend of mine. I meant no disrespect. I wasn't trying to be anti-Semitic in the least bit. It was very lighthearted, and I respect you so much. And a lot of my outspokenness was encouraged by you. Like you're like a master to throw sex, religion, and politics all in one pot and make it something nourishing. You know what I mean? Like and delicious too.
And I feel that way about your music.
But don't you think it's interesting though that whenever, because I sometimes experience that everything has to be black when people see me. And, so all their references are black references because all they can see is I'm black.
Right.
And so when you respond, his, cologne would be Jewish. I mean, do you feel that, that's sort of like every time you see Adam, you're thinking he's Jewish?
I mean, I know I am, but
oh, stop.
I'm like, I can't believe that guy's Jewish.
It was probably more provocative because I am black,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know what Robin's saying. It's like, I do find that, like when I'm around a black friend or something, all of a sudden, everything's black, 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 and it's like, that's all they can see is that the person's black. And then with Adam, it was like, well, all he could see is that he's Jewish or something. That's why I reacted that way. But I always found your music to be provocative. Like the song, Fuck You, which became so big.
Yeah, we love that song.
Putting the word fuck in there was very provocative. And like when you have a hit song, if you put fuck in there, it can hurt sales.
Right.
And you said, fuck it. I don't care. That's how I'm feeling.
Well, let me tell you that story.
Right.
I was at odds with my label at the time.
Right.
I had been recording Lady Killer for about 3 years, roughly.
Wow.
And I could not please them. And I was working with Bruno Mars, who wasn't necessarily Bruno Mars at the moment.
Right.
Well,
How'd you find
time.
Bruno Mars, by the way?
He was introduced to me as a staff writer, which he had signed on to be. And I was introduced to him and his writing partner, Phil Lawrence.
I didn't even know they still had staff writers. So in other words, when you're sitting and working on a song, you can say to a staff writer, hey, I'm blocked up here. Give me a hand with this thing.
Basically, and so this was the first time I had opened up my creative space and shared it with someone in that capacity.
Right.
And I said, okay, I'll give it a try.
Right.
Being a good sport. And I remember the first session we did in L.A., and we didn't get much done, but I did find them to be very amusing. Him and Phil are very funny guys, and we hit it off really good, the next couple of times. But that first time I said, this is awkward and uncomfortable for me. I said, I'm going to the restroom. I'll be back, and I never came back.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. It felt awkward and uncomfortable how? In other words, to work with guys you didn't really know?
Because I didn't realize, I didn't know if a staff writer being suggested to me was condescending. I said, motherfucker, I'm CeeLo Green. I don't need a staff writer.
Right.
But I want to be a good sport because I want that unanimous yes. I want my corner in my corner. So I said, if this will help, relations and get the job done, let's go for it. It doesn't matter.
But you have been at odds with Bruno Mars because he takes credit for writing the song, a lot of credit for writing the song Fuck You.
I saw that on a couple of international interviews to where it's not being specified what his contribution actually was.
So what was it? Clear it up. What was his contribution?
As producer, he wrote the music. So he produced it. He did not write the lyric for me.
Right. You came up with the lyric.
Yeah.
And he implies...
Can you imagine him writing...
Fuck you?
I just thought you should know, nigga. Can you imagine him writing
from
that
out of town. But the point is, you want it clear because the charm of that song, if you will, is the lyric. It's the sentiment. Fuck you.
Well, I thought I was being ridiculous. It's the last song we recorded for that album, and I said they're going to drop me from the label.
Right.
Great, and
because it was directed at your record company.
Exactly.
Right.
And so the storyline is fictitious, but the true, genuine connection to it and what people end up getting out of it was that.
Why is it that every songwriter, when they talk about their biggest hits, it's always that one song that they write in 5 fucking minutes. They write it as a throwaway, and then it drives them crazy the rest of their career because, that's how I should write all my songs.
Howard, this song has been so big. It has so much staying power. I'm still performing it, and I hadn't put out a new record in 3 years. I'm working on a new record right now.
They say about the music industry now, all these big hit songs, like you talk about Katy Perry's had one hit after another.
Yeah.
But really, it is a conglomerate. It's like she has a bunch of people who write for her, a bunch of people who produce her, that you almost can't do it on your own anymore if you're in the pop business.
Katy Perry is a corporation. She has a board.
Right.
Yeah.
And you mean that literally.
I do.
But you still try to write more on your own.
I do.
Yeah. But you do find great partners. I mean, look at you with this Mouse dude. I mean, it worked out pretty damn well.
Absolutely. And I do realize that works best for me. So, idealistically, yes, that's what I would gravitate toward more.
Is that why your new record now is with your original guys? Because you said, hey, why not collaborate with these guys again? Maybe we can have a hit.
Yeah, well, I felt like I owed a debt of gratitude to not only my group, which is my extended family, but also hip-hop, which is my community that I come from.
I think this new song is very catchy. When did you release this song?
Is it Special Education?
This is Special Education, yeah.
We released it maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think this is a real good song. Is it going to go on? Is it on the charts?
I don't know. I really don't know. We're doing it independently, and so... but people love it, and I think if it's like #1 at People's Radio.
Yeah, this is it's got a nice.
I had to hold him off. I said, guys, y'all just be ready. He's gonna beat me up when I go there.
I didn't beat you up. Looks like you could beat me up.
I love you too much, man.
You seem to know what's going on.
So it's always about us encouraging those underdogs and those unsung, those eccentric individuals, misunderstood. I'm so accustomed to that alienation, you know what I mean? And so I would love to be a voice for those people. And that's what I represent on the television show. That's why it works so well for me.
How are you going to get this song on the charts, man? That's what we got to do. This seems like it's happening.
Yeah, I mean, it really feels good. We've got a lot of work to do if we plan to combat, like the monotony, or the corruption that is radio at this point, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. You on tour with this?
Yeah, we're doing a promotional tour. Like, we go to Seattle tomorrow, and in Atlanta this weekend. We're going home for the big show.
Let's see. Goody Mob's new album, Age Against the Machine, is in stores now, and CeeLo's new book, Everybody's Brother, is
It comes out today.
Oh, is that right?
I've got an autobiography.
Oh, no kidding. You got an interesting life. No shortage of good stories there.
No, it's not, man. I think people should check it out.
You seem like a brutally honest guy, too.
I'm very honest.
You thinking of putting out a video with a naked woman? Look how well that worked out for Blurred Lines.
Robin Thicke.
You know what? The name of my new solo album is Girl Power, so maybe so.
Didn't you? What was the song White Power on your new album?
Yeah.
And you tried to get a white supremacist band to play with you?
I was being sarcastic, but I actually did try to Google something. I didn't know any by name. And I said, how cool would this be, to make a mockery of something? You know what I'm saying? And it's all good old-fashioned rock and roll and shock value.
But white supremacist bands are not going to perform with a black man, are they?
Well, maybe they could spin it to promote their own idea. You know what I'm saying? It's still about white power, but
Did you approach any white supremacists?
I didn't find any that had a contact that I could reach out to them. So I didn't go too far down the line.
Underground,
yeah. Wow.
Hard to get in touch with those people.
Do you ever wish that, like even the song "Fuck You," if it had come out 15 years ago, the record business was so big, you would have so much more money now.
Fuck yes.
I mean, isn't it crazy what's happened?
I missed the heyday.
You kind of did, didn't you?
The bubble burst, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, making money now off records ain't where it's at. You've got to make money going on tour.
Yes.
And that's a lot more work.
Yeah.
Are you jealous of guys like Prince who have a catalog, or, you take a look at Metallica? These guys sold like 100 million albums, you know what I mean?
I'm inspired by Prince. He's one of my all-time favorites. And I just performed with him recently for the third time. So
what a fucking nut, though, right? I mean, like, you just got to buy into his whole nutty world.
He's got his own thing.
Did you hang with him?
Yeah, I've hung out with him, and he's more normal than I think he would want to let on.
Is he?
So am I, actually.
Like the reason he's not normal to me, I love Prince, and I got invited to this private show he was doing.
Yeah.
The fucker turns out all the lights and says, no, don't put any lights on me. It was like listening to a record. I couldn't see him play. He turned, and I was just like, fuck Prince, and I left. And I love the guy.
I've seen him do that before, too, just play, just jam session for 2 hours straight.
And it's
before
bullshit.
He plays any one recognizable song.
And it's bullshit.
He has his issues with him, but, like, he's Prince, and it's just like,
yeah. Well, Prince Schmintz, I was like, man, I can't believe I'm going to see Prince. It's a small crowd, and he goes, please, 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 turn off those lights. And then even the dude kept putting the lights back on. He goes, no, I won't play if you put on the lights. And I'm like, fuck Prince. And I left.
I don't know. He definitely was going through a thing at one time, but I don't know. He's back, and he put on a great show.
He definitely gets a lot of pussy, though, right? I mean, it's crazy amounts.
I think he's gotten too much pussy, and I think he's at the point of where it's just like, you know what? It's probably more of a distraction at this point.
Yeah, what happens to a guy who gets too much pussy? I mean,
we were talking about this yesterday.
Yeah,
that was my question, Robin. Was it possible? Because I have not reached that climax yet. It's like,
not many people have.
No, I'm still.
Yeah, there are few people get there. If there is a there.
I love it.
It's dangerous. That
and when
pussy.
you think of guys like Wilt Chamberlain, it doesn't seem to have a limit.
No, Wilt was crazy. We interviewed him. He had a tremendous amount of pussy. You are heavily tattooed. When did you get so inked up? How old were you?
I started that year. That I think I was 17 when I got my first tattoo. It was just my name right here. And then
your whole body is tattooed, right?
My whole upper torso is pretty.
Did you ever finish your back, or was it just too painful and you stopped?
I stopped, and I never revisited it yet.
It was too painful.
It hurt.
But I mean, you've done your entire chest and your stomach. I mean, why can't you do your back?
Why is the back so painful?
Because you're out of control. Like, you're helpless on your stomach.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting your arms under your chest, you can kind of look at it and try to brave it that way. But when you're on your face down, it's like, wow.
Do you like the sensation of getting a tattoo? I mean, the physical sensation of the needle going in.
I think it represents permanence and commitment, and I also think people go to the extremes that I have as a statement of saying I can take the pain.
Why do you think you are so heavily tattooed?
Initially I was just kind of signifying different things, whether it be my mother or my group or my city where I'm from, and then I started to want to take more of an artful approach and try to tie all of the different things together, and at that point, it became a project.
Yeah. There's got to be psychological.
Do you think about what happens as you get older with all these tattoos?
Who gives a shit, right?
No, I really wonder, when you do all of that, like, things change and things move around.
Well, you know what? Before I'm a hip-hop artist, before I'm a pop artist, before I'm a television celebrity, I'm a rock and roller. So
right.
like
so that's okay.
This is all the way into the
You are a rock and roller.
Yeah.
It is confusing sometimes to figure out what genre you're into because, like, you're all over the place.
Well, you know what? I mean, I listen to music from all over. And I've said this many a time. I said I've listened from everything to ABC to REM, everything from Billy Idol to Billy Joel.
Yeah.
It's like, and the walls that divide music divide people as well.
You've dropped acid too, right?
Yeah.
A lot of brothers don't drop acid.
I tried it, but I had a bunch of white friends, and so like when I grew up, and white boys know how to party. Like, I went to military school when I was in the 9th grade, and that's the first time I tried acid. And the first and only time.
All boys military school?
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been insane, huh?
It was insane.
Did you hate it?
It was like taps.
Did you hate it?
I didn't hate it. It was actually my idea, and I was pretty obligated to because I had gotten put out of the Atlanta public school system, so I couldn't even go to school.
You couldn't even go to school.
You mean you were so bad you got thrown out of the Atlantic public school system?
Yeah, I got into a fight with a principal.
You beat up the principal?
I was a pretty defiant guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
fuck yeah, when you beat up the principal.
You need military school.
Did you beat him up? Did you kick his ass?
I just struck him.
Why did you hit the principal at the school?
Because he hit me.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, he hit you first?
Yeah.
Oh, then
but
you got
what
it right.
were you doing when all of this started?
He was fucking the guy's wife.
Well, at a point, I just kind of became a target, and I was a bit of a troublemaker, I must say.
I see.
God knows what you were up to. You must have been one bad motherfucker.
People, you just would never believe it.
You were disruptive in class, and then they brought you to the principal, and the principal got so frustrated with you, he hit you?
I had that kind of influence of where it was like, not even just bad behavior, but my defiance and attitude, kind of influenced children to
act out.
Yeah, they felt
you
like,
were bad for everybody else.
You were a negative leader.
They felt like I was an instigator,
Wow.
and I wanted to revert that. And this is why I've tried to promote so much positivity and productivity.
How many people in your life must be shocked that you're a success now? I mean, they probably thought you were going to prison.
And that principal.
An entire city is shocked.
I mean, really. I mean, it's really quite mind-blowing, isn't it?
Man.
Now, the Goody Mob, who you're performing with now and going around, and promoting the new album, are these guys a good influence on you, or are they some really tough motherfuckers?
They're tough.
They're tough. Let me meet these guys. Let me see what they look like. Bring in the Goody
They're
Mob.
all around?
Anybody got
I
water?
want to say hi. I got a water if you want, but it's not cold. You want room temperature?
Yeah, that's cool, because my throat is a little sore, actually.
Oh, I don't have water. Hey, Gary, can you bring some water in? This is the Goody Mob?
Yes.
Look at you guys, man. you guys look like you could beat up some ass, too.
All right, now it's time to get intimidated, right?
That's right, man.
No, they're good guys. They're good guys.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
What's up, Hal?
Gentlemen, does it feel good to have the Goody Mob back again?
Yeah, it's a wonderful feeling.
Wasn't it bullshit when CeeLo left you guys and kind of fucked you over? I mean, let's be honest. Let the truth come out.
Let's get down.
CeeLo's like, oh, it was cool. No, it wasn't cool for you guys.
No. It was cool because we talked talked about it. We talked about it on the last album.
Yeah, but
and it was something that we all expected from him because the first time you heard Goody Mob, you heard him sing.
That's right.
So it was something that me and him personally and us as a group, we always talked about it because he was like, yo, Gip, like if I don't take the opportunity now, when am I going to take the opportunity?
Well, yeah, but nevertheless, I mean, when you got this thing going, you guys have worked together all these years, you put in a lot of time and effort.
He can sing,
it's your paycheck and all this shit. And this guy, I'm leaving you guys. Fuck you.
But you know what it was, Howard? It wasn't about the group just breaking up. At that time, L.A. Reid was really closing down LaFace in Atlanta, and he was moving to New York. So me and CeeLo, he offered me and CeeLo our own solo deals at the time.
I see. So everybody was doing well.
Yes, everybody was doing well at that particular time.
L.A. Reid's a good dude, isn't he?
Yeah.
He actually came over to my house. We were hanging out together, him and his wife. Really good dude, right?
I think he's turned more individuals, more musicians into millionaires than any other executive that I know of.
Is that
what does he have? Is it just a good ear, or what?
He knows music. He's a musician, too.
He understands it.
He's a musician, too.
And when he makes a suggestion, it actually is meaningful and helps, right?
I would say so.
Yeah, and you know that he's been through the same trials and tribulations as we have. You know what I mean? He's been out there on the road. He's been in the group, the deal with Babyface. He went through the thing where they didn't own their publishing, and they had to come to Atlanta and start a whole new label.
Yeah.
He's been there. So, you know, he's always giving everybody the floor. Do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? And that's something that we will always appreciate.
And you really do meet a lot of dummies in the music business, right? Who actually kind of have an opinion, but they don't have anything to back it up with. And it's you got to really watch whose hands you get into, right? Because they can screw you up.
Well, that's the reason why the record industry is the way it is now.
It's about like Twitter. There's some dummies out there. Their opinion is like a pebble in a gravel road. It really doesn't mean anything.
Well, you make a good point. There's so many dummies that they wreck the music business.
They wreck the business.
They didn't understand that the business model was changing, and how are they going to make revenue from these records, and none of them could figure it out, and they fucked it all. How could the record companies reverse themselves, or is it too late?
It's never too late. You just have to start putting more artists into those positions and take a lot of these people that went to school and don't love music for art form.
Right.
You know, take those people out of those positions.
Basically, stop stealing music. Just stop stealing.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, because that cat is out of the bag.
Yeah, that's gone down, man.
But you still what isn't worth paying for, which is the popular opinion about music, because I don't even know if it is music anymore. Like, I mean, the intangibility, of just art and heart. It's products.
I'll be honest with you guys. I came up with a plan to save the music industry. Listen to this. I'm going to shut down the internet. Then no one's going to be able to get any music for free. What do you think of that?
That's it, Howard.
I could do it.
That's it.
Yeah. I think I could reverse this whole thing.
Help.
Go back. You bet. Well, listen, there's a lot of excitement going on. I'm so glad you guys came in today. The Goody Mob's new album, Age Against the Machine, is in stores now.
Yes, it is.
CeeLo's new book.
Yes.
Everybody's Brother is in stores now.
Yes, today.
Well, don't get too excited. You don't get a cut of that. Let's be honest.
Actually, help me write.
Oh, you do?
Actually, I do.
Oh, well, that's different.
Oh, I got something for you, too.
You helped write the book as well.
Yes, I did.
You helped organize the thoughts and this kind of stuff.
Yes, I did. I was kind of like a bird's eye view with him.
What is the most fucked up thing in that book that we're going to read that we did not realize about CeeLo?
I think you said it already.
Oh, really? What?
Yeah. I think
he was a badass, huh?
Yeah.
Were you guys badasses too?
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, look at us, Howard.
Anybody ever kill anybody? Raise your hand if you killed someone.
Me.
Oh, geez.
I don't think you're joking.
Keep your hand down. Stop that.
No, what the fuck you did?
Coming from where we come from, you got to work hard to not kill somebody.
Right. You almost have to.
So all of you could raise your hands.
Well, hey, that was in the past, Everybody has to overcome their past.
2013.
That person probably didn't need to be here anyway.
Those people probably weren't worth being around anyway. What were they going to do? That's the point.
We kill a lot of stereotypes, though.
Also, CeeLo is on The Voice. Is CeeLo the best judge on The Voice, would you guys say, in your opinion?
Truly.
Truly, right. He is
But
the most
wait a minute, CeeLo.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, darling.
Why haven't you ever won?
Oh, yeah, you haven't.
I'm not sure. I think I'm due for a win, though. I'm really
You
looking,
are.
Yeah.
Do you really care? Do you care if you win on that show? I mean, you don't give a shit, do you?
I care if the most deserving wins, and on a couple of occasions I felt like I truly deserved, or at least my teammate, and
I do believe you because on America's Got Talent, there's a guy I think
You're
should
rooting
win.
for the
And
people.
I do root for the people.
Yeah.
I'm actually caught up in it. I really am.
yeah, it's not about me at all. I come secondary, but it would be nice.
The trick to those shows is, and not really a trick. It's got to be sincere. You got to care about the talent, and you got to treat the judging seriously, right?
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Well, we've had fun today. We got the new record out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you haven't met Amy yet.
Who's Amy?
I don't know.
Some chick you're banging?
First white girl.
This is the audio book. I want to give it to you.
Oh, is that right? Is that how it comes out? That's it?
Yes.
That's an audio book? And you just stick that in your computer?
I think so.
Is that how it works? Wow, look at that. Do you read your own book?
I haven't read it yet. I just got a hard copy.
Who's reading the audio
Who's reading the book? Who reads the audio book?
Well, they gave those out. Yes, that's the first time I've ever seen that. And Gip does the whole read.
So. Oh, I see. Oh, this is for a download.
Yeah.
Oh, I get you. Oh, yeah. This ain't, I'm like, hey, how do I?
Yeah, I was going to say, how are you going to jam that into your computer?
You guys getting a lot of pussy off this whole thing?
Well, it's something
Did you
that I
share?
need.
Who got laid last night?
I did.
Everyone. Oh, everyone.
Oh, well, no, let me put my head down.
Oh, what? You didn't
I thought
get
you
any
talking about the
last
day
night?
before yesterday.
You guys fuck the girls who come to the shows? Or what,
Well, the dynamics has changed in the group. When we first started, me and CeeLo were married.
Right.
Now me and CeeLo are divorced, and these two are married.
Oh, I see. So you two guys aren't taking advantage of getting some, or you guys like CeeLo, you can fuck on the road and do these kinds of things.
I like raw pussy, I ain't gonna lie.
Actually,
Who said that?
I gotta stay down with what I got. These rubber companies just making too much damn money.
They are. They really are. You got to be careful. Look what happened to this guy.
You be careful with asking him anything.
You guys really have fun being in this band, right? It is
Yeah, but he doesn't want to populate the world. Come on.
You know what, though? We've been together since we were kids.
Right.
Since we were 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And CeeLo was really bad, wasn't he? I mean, you can't punch out a principal in a school.
He was our baby brother. He was the one that, anytime we wanted a fight started, he had something to start it with.
But can he handle himself? Is he good with his fists?
He's very good.
Oh, I seen him knock somebody out in person.
Really?
Just for somebody saying something about him on the radio.
Really?
Wow.
And the guy, he actually
let's be very careful.
He was like, CeeLo, do what you got to do, man. Next thing I know, I seen both his legs up in the air.
What do you mean? You were being interviewed on a radio station?
He was an artist that we.
I like how rational you are about it. Well, at that time.
He seems so gentle.
Yeah,
now
right.
I'm like, I'm rethinking this whole thing.
This was
This
was another artist. This wasn't the DJ.
And he was an artist and who I was a big fan of, and I actually had a lot to do with him getting signed. Our production team, Organized Noise, who handled all of the first Outkast and Goody Mob music, they ended up getting a label deal with Interscope, and they signed him, and he had been a local legend, And I was like, yo, if he has the right support, he'd be great. And so I guess they were at odds about some business, and he went on Atlanta radio, and his personality is very talkative,
He's got a lot to say.
And he pulled me in it, and I'm just like, no,
leave me out of this.
Leave me out. I'm big on respect, and so most certainly, we've never had any problems in our 20-year career, and we most certainly aren't going to have any problems with family. We're going to deal with that.
So did you go down to the radio station to confront this gentleman?
Well, actually, we were doing an interview at a club. I think they had just kind of shut down a club situation, and we did an interview on stage, something like this. And somebody came and whispered in my ear that, hey, he's here.
Yeah.
And I said, well, let's go see him.
Right. Let's talk this out. Right.
I want to see him.
So you went over to see him, and you confronted him.
I said, why are you talking shit about me?
Right.
And he looked me up and said, do what you got to do.
Oh.
I said, well, okay.
All right. So he says, do what you got to do. So you take your fist, right?
Yeah.
And you hit him, what, in the face?
I slapped him first.
First you smack him.
Yeah, so I can get my jacket off.
And did he get woozy from the smack? Because the smack can do a lot of damage. People don't realize that.
Yeah.
You know,
You don't believe that's coming, right?
So you bitch slapped
do a lot of damage to your self-esteem.
Right.
Yeah.
You bitch slapped him.
I gave him a smack,
Yeah.
you know, and then I gave him a couple other licks, but he didn't really want to fight back, and you know, so I didn't want to.
So you punched him? Did you knock him out?
No, I stalled him out. He's okay, and we ended up talking, and
Oh, I bet.
we were cool.
I bet you he behaved.
Yeah, of course he's
after
going to
that.
talk now.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, never
So
tell
he-
him do what you got to do.
Because CeeLo to me seems like a gentle hippie. He really
I
does.
see him there on the TV show with the cat and the bird.
Have you guys ever confronted one of each other with fists? Have you guys ever gotten into a fight? No, never. No, none
of us.
No.
Everything's cool.
I was just wondering who could take on who in this group.
Well, you know,
maybe a battle royal.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, but there are groups that come to fists, over
But you know what?
song lyrics and other decisions.
Are you guys such brothers that, like, let's say there's one hot chick somewhere, and she says, "Hey, look, I want the whole band to fuck me." Would you guys?
I've seen it.
Right. You've seen it with this band?
Well, you know, I've just seen, individuals.
So you guys have done that?
Once or twice.
Once or twice.
And who goes first? What is the order?
Does
What is the
CeeLo get
order?
to go first because he's, such a big deal? Or,
It's been nothing recently. I've only been a big deal in the last few years.
Right.
So how do you determine the order?
Yeah, how does that work? And
most of the time, it's the girls'
discretion.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
But we're way past that. I haven't.
I understand. That was in the old days.
You're not sharing it.
No, I haven't engaged in any group sex in a long.
Is it weird to see when you're in a group? When you're in a group, is it weird to see your fellow band members naked? I mean, is standing there fucking, getting blowjobs and stuff. Is it weird?
Yeah, do you stay in the room?
Does it inhibit your ability to get hard?
I can only think about two situations.
Yeah, exactly.
And her back was turned. So
What do you mean? She turns around. She was doggy style.
Yeah.
And then you guys mounted her.
Well, she was mounted, and the rest of us turned our backs on that.
I see. So you gave each other privacy.
And then he said, "Are you finished?"
That was nice of you. That was very
That's
nice.
a very gentlemanly thing. I respect you, and I respect your band's attitude. I really do. But is it weird when you're the last guy to go and everybody else has been in there?
I don't know, because whoever's gone first is gone. So you're left with that.
Right, yeah.
That's your girl.
Because I would have a hard time getting it up if my fellow band members were in the room, even with their backs turned. You know what I mean?
I remember it being just that, because it's only been a couple of times, and I just remember that first time it being really fun and like, we live in the dream. It was childish.
Right.
It's crazy. You don't stop and applaud the other guys when they go or anything like that?
No.
High five, this kind of thing.
Cheer them on.
Maybe a high five.
High five.
That particular night, I think we did because it was so exciting because we was with Luke Skywalker.
Oh,
in Miami.
yeah. Luke is a guy who gets tons of
Yeah, he'll sit girls on you, like you know what I mean, like you just.
Right.
He's insulted if you're not fucking someone while he's in the room. That's true.
Luke.
Yeah, I know Luke. I know.
Long time.
Right.
It's true.
Wow,
It's true.
that's crazy stuff. Man, that book might be good. I might have to read that.
It's not bad.
Yeah, if you put that kind of shit in there, I'll read that. Yeah, I'll go see the movie. Well,
Brad
listen.
Pitt's gonna play me.
The members of the Goody Mob are here. You got Big Gip, you got Cujo, you got Timo, and of course, Goody Mob's new album "Age Against the Machine" is in stores now, which everyone's excited about. It's not like the old days when you could sell 500 million records, but hey, this money to be made here.
That's right.
And CeeLo's new book, Everybody's Brother, is in stores now. Don't miss CeeLo on The Voice on NBC. That's the key right there, too.
That's right.
Howard, we also have a Goody Mob reality show coming on TBS.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh,
That's
look at
next.
this.
TBS?
What do you mean? How many episodes is that going to be?
Right now, we're about 8 or 9. Yeah, 6.
A season.
Well, the episode I'm waiting for is when you fuck the same girl, all four of you.
Right.
I mean, like, I'll be so into that. What is it, Marianne? Real quick, I have to get these guys out of here at some point.
Just in case you get crazy, I'm the one with the crown in the audience. CeeLo, I happen to love you. I was offended with the Jewish comment, but I get it.
Oh, please. It's in the past.
Great. So, CeeLo, you hear my voice? That's what I love about it. You don't see the person. You
Oh, shut up. You're giving me a headache.
What
King
is
of
she
all blacks.
talking about today?
King of all blacks, you're on the air.
Yeah, I just wanted to answer your question. I don't want to be disrespectful because I'm not a disrespectful person.
Well, you'll get your ass beaten.
Oh, come on.
Do what you got to do, CeeLo.
All right, do what you got to do.
What you got to do, buddy.
Right.
What's up, bro?
Listen. The problem is that when you're a black hip hop group and you cross over to the so-called white audience, you can never ever come back. It's impossible to come back.
Is that right?
That's bullshit.
That's, I mean, why would you say that, bro? Why would you say that? Michael Jackson did it his entire career. Princess did it his entire career. James Brown did it his entire career. Come on, don't say
he
stuff
doesn't
like
know
that.
shit.
That's not a true statement.
In the dirt road.
I will tell you why.
King, you make a lot of statements that you don't even know what you're talking about. The only thing you really truly know about is street cleaning. That's what he does. That he's good at.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, and I respect that he's a street cleaner, but he doesn't know a lot about the music industry. What?
You know I'm smart. Listen to me. First of all, you should not get married to a woman that lets you have sex with other women. That's a no-no right there. The woman you should marry should tell you, I'll chop your dick off if you fuck
You get advice on women.
Oh, my
All right,
goodness.
good.
He's
All
all
right.
over the place today.
I'm a pass on that, King.
By the way, this guy buys used women's shoes over the internet and smells them and jerks off into them. So I'm just telling you what.
You know you want to listen to him.
Yeah. Rick, go ahead. Come on, in Pittsburgh.
Hey, thanks, King. CeeLo, when Christina Aguilera is acting like a brat on the show, you ever feel like putting her over your knee and giving her a spanking?
You into her at all?
You know what?
I can see you banging her.
We've become such good friends. She
lost weight.
She lost weight. She looks beautiful now.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And,
she was a bit messy for a while.
And I think that's probably had a lot to do with just affecting her negatively, her energy and her esteem. But she's
I heard
beautiful.
she was. I've heard from some people. I'm not saying who, that she was a royal pain in the ass the first season on The Voice.
Some would say that, but then again, like, a little bit of bitch would be a lot of bitch because she's the only woman there, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
But
like,
she got to get her attitude together too. You know?
She's the only diva, and she's one of the best vocalists we've ever had.
You know what it is? She was originally hired. She thought like she was the star of the show, and the rest of you sort of should kowtow to her. And that's bullshit. She's got to get over that.
Yeah, and she is over that.
When I joined America's Got Talent, I'm the biggest star on there, but I don't act that way. I act like a normal person.
Right, without a doubt. Well, but every now and again, I do think of her.
You act like a normal person.
Absolutely. Look how normal I am.
Every now and again, I do look at her and I think about how attracted to her I used to be when she released "Dirty" and those kind of songs. I was like, damn, she's like really coming out of her shell, kind of like what Miley Cyrus is doing now.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hey, Coward, can I say one more thing?
Yeah, okay.
The Lady Killer is a must-own in any music collection.
Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
Thank you
for
so
saying that,
much.
Rick.
We appreciate
Okay.
that.
All right. Finally, Dane, go ahead. What's up?
Hey, I want to call bullshit on CeeLo being a former thug.
What do you mean, bullshit?
Whose ass is he kicking with those little T-Rex arms?
Oh man, he's saying, that? Yeah, I think he's calling you out. Listen, come down here, and I'm going to let CeeLo beat your ass.
I'll punch you right in your Adam's apple.
No, not me. CeeLo's going to fight.
You don't want to fight.
No, I don't want to fight anybody. I want you and CeeLo to fight, Dane.
It's always some tough motherfucker over the phone.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you guys something. I've handled my share of guys like that. I'm not going to brag.
They're all tough on the phone.
They're all tough on the phone. Then I beat their ass.
Yeah,
Well, I have somebody beat their ass. I just can't do it. All right, listen, you guys. We've had fun.
Okay. Thank you.
And now the time for the fun to stop. Dip it down and work. All right. All right. The Goody Mob's new album. You got to get it. Age Against the Machine. It's in stores now.
Yes.
Also, CeeLo's new book, Everybody's Brother, is in stores now.
Thank you.
Learn the whole story of CeeLo and all the...
I'm even that asshole's brother.
That's right. Very generous of you. I tell you, never go to the phones.
Okay.
That's the name of your follow-up song.
That's a rule.
Right. Anyway, thank you so much, CeeLo. Great having you.
So much.
Goody Mob, thank you so much.
For
Great
having
to see
us
you
out.
guys. It was really a pleasure.
Yes.
Come back and see us again.
Will do.
And we'll be back right after these words.
So, CeeLo.
Yes.
Throughout your interview, you sort of discussed your path from sort of a troublemaking youth into a musician, and an artist was born.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what makes Howard an artist in his own right?
Howard is an artist because of just pure energy and expression and honesty and assertion and observation and, taking it, and it's hot in his hands and taking it and shaping it and forming it and making it fundamental. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what he does and what he says does to take the shape of an art form, ultimately. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because of the focus you mentioned during the interview that it takes to go from something that you like as a hobby into something that people can get. You described it as nourishment.
Yeah.
Listening to Howard Stern's is almost like a...
Most certainly. I mean, we all live vicariously through individuals and mediums like a Howard Stern. That should really be a job description and a formal entitlement. You know what I'm saying? A medium, a means to see yourself a little clearer. You know what I mean? Because so many people just cannot find the words or lack the ability to express themselves.
Going back to what you guys discussed, in your youth in Atlanta, what would you say to someone your age who was in a difficult spot at, the age of 15, 16, going through what you went through?
Well, I mean, anybody that's taken their street sensibility as and considered it a skill, I would love to showcase the fact that you can be multidimensional. You can take something, a seed, that can grow into something beautiful. You know what I mean? But everything is up out of the dirt. That's where it begins. And so anybody coming from where I'm coming from, I would love to be a poster boy of possibility.
That just because you're labeled as one way, as a young person, you can become anything you want as long as you have that passion for it.
Most certainly. Apply yourself. Dedicate yourself. Commit yourself. Crime is for lazy people.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story today, CeeLo.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Doing the world's largest chicken dance.
The world's largest bad dance.
You don't know it if you see it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that when I hear the music, I go to the corner. It's something I want no involvement in, and people love to be. I don't know. People love to.
It's like a Macarena.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but what is he doing? You know what I mean? Like, what is that? Hey, you never told me, what's this thing you're doing, the world's largest chicken dance? What is that?
Isn't that silly?
Yeah, it seems beneath you.
I'm narrating a concert with the Cincinnati Symphony.
That sounds horrible,
and when
too.
they found out about that, that I'm coming to Cincinnati,
right?
It just so happens that at the same time of the run, they're celebrating their Oktoberfest. And they needed a grand marshal for it.
Okay.
And they asked, Brad does the booking, so they asked Brad whether I'll do it or not, be the grand marshal.
What kind of booking agent is Brad that he's putting you into the world's largest chicken dance?
I know. And part of being a grand marshal is to do the chicken dance.
Do you know how to do
and
it?
It's simple.
Yeah. Right. Nice job.
And Cincinnati's Oktoberfest is the second largest Oktoberfest in the world.
Wow.
Number one is Munich.
Seems like, you know what? You were like, why are we doing this, Brad? And then, like, he convinced you by telling you that. Like, that's how you know so much. Am I pretty close on that?
You are.
Yeah, right.
It is silly. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
So you have to do the chicken dance at what point?
They tell me it's on Saturday night.
I got to see that. Are they going to tape that?
It's late afternoon at 5 o'clock. I told them I won't do it if it's anywhere close to the symphony concert.
Oh, I see.
You'll have to cancel the chicken dance if it's near this. Let me see. How do you do it? Teach me how to do it.
You're good at it. I'll recommend you
can
for
do
next
it,
year.
Howard. If George can't make it, you can substitute for it.
George just taught me the chicken dance. How did you? Yeah, I can fill in for you. Robin's
Yes,
right.
you can.
Who taught you that? Like you're pretty good at it. Who taught you that?
It's simple. They sent a video, and I mean, you go like this and like this, and then you shake.
Did they have to teach you that, though? Because you didn't know what a chicken dance was.
I had no idea.
Right. So who taught you, Brad?
No. They sent a video of somebody doing it.
How much are they paying you for this?
Actually, I'm getting paid for the concert narration. This
And
is
that's
an
it?
add-on.
You're doing this for free.
Yeah.
Fred's really doing a good job.
He's doing a very good job.
By the way, from now on, Fred, start the show every day with chicken dance. Robin and I will do it. Very nice. I'm afraid when I do my chicken dance, my pee will fly everywhere.
And you remind me of my foot and my balance problem. I may need a substitute.
Right.
I may topple over.
Mr. George Takei, earlier you spoke with Howard about being the Grand Marshal of a chicken dance type of atmosphere. Benji.
Hey, man.
Would you like to be shown how to chicken dance properly? I'd like
I
to
would
see
love it.
how you would show someone.
Well,
how
let
to
me
do it.
put this down.
Okay.
This was an add-on. The main reason I'm going to Cincinnati is to be the narrator with the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra. But when they found out that I was going to be in Cincinnati, they contacted us and asked me to be the Grand Marshal. And I thought, well, that's going to be easy. Just, get up on stage and say a few words. But then I discovered that an important part of being the Grand Marshal of the Oktoberfest in Cincinnati, or they pronounce it Cincinnati Oktoberfest, is doing the chicken dance. I said, what is that? They sent a video over, and it goes like, it's a polka rhythm, but it's... let's see.
I thought we were getting naked. Wait, start again. I really want to try again.
We need music.
Okay, da da na 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 da da na 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 dun 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 dun.
1, 2, 3, 4.
See, it's the count part. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, the hips. Hips have to go. Like the twist.
Oh.
Like the twist. But no.
Oh, just
a straight this, and then you go back to repeat the whole thing over and over again. Isn't that ridiculous?
I love it. No, I love it. It's fun. I like this part the best.
This part?
Yeah. Hey, when you were a little kid, did you ever do that with your shirt, your T-shirt?
What?
Like to put your arms through it to make like wings and pretend you were a chicken?
Oh no!
You never did that?
No, I never did that.
Like
Sorry. We didn't have. Oh, really? That's great. And it looks like you've got breasts too.
Yeah.
A part of that should be.
Hi, my name is Emil Chin. I'm the owner of Park Avenue Safe Site. I'm on Howard today because he wanted to talk about my dating life. There was some stuff in the New York Post, and I wanted to just get my side of the story out.
Why come to Howard? Why is this a good outlet for your story?
Well, Howard's a good guy in the fact that he's very open and honest and candid, and I think I'm that way too. I used to actually listen to Howard all the way back in the 1980s when I was in high school.
So you go way back.
Yeah.
We'll see you in the studio, Doctor. Thanks for stopping by today. Great.
Thank you.
So our next guest is the doctor, and he's already fascinating because He's a small guy, and he's got his lab coat on.
I'm a member of a lot of Asian organizations.
He looks like we called Central Casting and send like a twerpy.
Yeah, exactly.
A twerpy guy who needs a date.
So if you get a girl that he likes, first date he'll give you 100, second date 200, so on and so forth. If he marries the girl, he'll give you his $100,000 Ferrari.
Wow.
Now,
I'm going to start looking for a girl for him.
the requirements are pretty stringent.
Right.
Very skinny, 27 to 35, white, Christian, type B personality, has to be an 8 or 9 on the attractive scale, no children, has to spend time outside the United States, has to live in a city of 1 million people or more.
We really thought it through.
Oh, dude, when you see if you really want to get into the whole contracts in here, it's insane.
There's a guy here, he's a very successful doctor. His name is Dr. Emil Chin. He's an eye surgeon. And we learned about this guy, invited him in because he's up to something really interesting. Guy's super successful. There he is. He's wearing his lab coat, which shows you he's successful. Doctor, you went to 3 Ivy League schools. I've been reading up on you. Very impressive background.
Oh, thanks, Howard.
You went to, let me see if I got this right. You went to Dartmouth, Columbia, and Harvard.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I'm so old.
Show off is right. How old are you?
I'm 47.
You're 47, and you're an eye surgeon.
You just finished school? No.
Yeah, just recently.
Why not Yale? I mean, why did you miss that?
Because Yale's not Harvard.
Right. Do you have a very high IQ?
I was tested for Mensa. I got into Mensa. So somewhere over 150. They don't tell you the actual score.
So you do LASIK surgery. You do.
Well, I do it's not LASIK. Okay, it's a non-cutting form. So anybody who's scared about LASIK or can't get it, like they were told they can't get it.
That would be me.
Yeah.
I'm scared of it.
No, but okay, I had LASIK myself. I was the first surgeon in New York City to get LASIK.
Right.
That's one of my claims to fame. And then you cut a flap, you lift it up, and the cutting part is the dangerous part.
Yeah.
We're now doing all laser, so it's like 10 times safer. We've proven statistically it's safer than wearing contacts.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
Because
you can come and watch a live procedure.
I don't want to watch anything. The eyes freak me out, man. It scares the hell out of me.
Our OR is on the sidewalk, okay, in 25th and Park. So whenever I operate, everybody on the sidewalk watches me, and I did that to show that I can't have a complication. Because if
you have a big glass window in your OR so people can watch from the street?
It's 4 glass, and one of the glasses is the window to the OR. And we have
a lot of doctors don't want you watching them because if they screw up.
Look, I didn't want anyone watching when I was doing LASIK, okay? Because 1 in 1,000 you get a bad flap. If we're in New York City glass window.
Right.
You know what's going to happen, Howard.
Yeah,
doctors handing, lawyers hand out business cards.
Right.
I don't want that.
No.
But now I can do that.
So, Dr. Chen, you are doing something very unusual, and I read about you, and I wanted Robin and everyone to hear about this. You are trying to find a wife.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have very specific...
You can't find a wife?
Well, Howard's alluding to the fact that my specs might be too specific.
Yeah, your specs are specific. Let me tell you. Dr. Chin really is one of these guys. I know people like you who sort of... They know exactly what they want. All right? Whether you
he thinks he does.
Yes. Dr. Chin's requirements for a woman.
Well, not a woman. Like my wife.
Yes, your wife, not just any woman.
Like
a
other
wife.
people are allowed to not be like that.
Right. Here we go.
But your wife.
You want a very skinny woman.
I'm only 125, actually.
Right. You're a slight kind of guy.
Yeah.
How
so
tall
you
are
want a woman that's not bigger than you.
Right. How tall are you?
5'6".
You're 5'6", and you're a nice looking guy. It's not like you're some sort of a loser.
Thanks. Yeah.
Right, George. He's a nice. He's an attractive man. You want a woman who's very skinny. Dress size 0 to 2.
That's really because it's hard to define skinny.
Right. Age 27 to 35.
A childbearing age.
Right. You want kids.
You want children.
If I didn't want kids, I don't. In all honesty, Howard, I might not get married.
Okay.
You know.
You want a white woman.
I was born in a town that's. I was the only Asian family. We were the only Asian family. So I think in an early, imprinting.
Yes.
Imprinting is when you have a little family of ducks. You take away the mom, you put a cat there, and the ducks still follow the mom.
Yes.
That happens when you're like 0 to 6 or something like that. So I think I imprinted in childhood. The only Asian women I ever hung out or actually met or anything like that, those are my sisters. And I think you're not really supposed to want to have sex with your sisters.
Right.
So if I see an Asian...
I've always subscribed to that. Yeah.
So
you got it right, Doctor.
All right.
But if I see an Asian woman, I'll be like, oh, she's totally hot objectively, but I don't want to be physical with her.
Right. Okay, so you want a white woman.
Yeah.
You want a Christian.
No, that's not actually a requirement.
Oh, really? Because I was saying, like, what if
How'd
Bar
that get on the list?
What if Bar Raffaelli hears this, the Jewish
No,
supermodel?
that's actually not on my list.
All right, and you want to graduate?
My aunt's a nun.
Right.
So I figured that'll get me into heaven. I don't have to do anything else.
And you want to graduate of an Ivy League school?
No, actually, that's the Post said that, and we made them do a retraction. I said specifically, I don't care what school they graduate from, but they need a college degree.
You want a Type B personality, not Type A. I understand what you're saying. Sometimes Type A can be a little aggressive at home and push you and push you and push you.
Well, because I'm a Type A.
Right.
So
you don't need that.
You don't want butting heads.
Okay. You want also her to be an 8 or a 9 on the attractiveness scale out of 10.
See, that's also wrong. Okay, so I actually put
Yeah,
down,
you want a 10 if you're going to go to this show.
Actually, if you look at my if you look at my original list, I said not a 9 or a 10 because I've dated women who are like very attractive.
Right.
There's a lot of baggage that comes with those extra points.
Yes,
So,
that's true.
8 and down.
You're looking for a woman.
Nice. 8's a good number.
You're looking for a woman with no children. You want to start your own family.
Right.
You're not looking for somebody else's situation.
Although that's not a hard requirement. In other words,
Right.
if I really love a person and she has a kid, it's not disqualifying.
She must have spent
One child you might handle.
She must have. She must have
kids,
spent time outside the United States.
I've been to 60 countries. Okay,
Right.
so I think if a girl's idea,
What's unworldly?
if a girl's idea of I've traveled abroad is I went to Cancun for spring break, that's not going to work.
Right. You want someone who is really cultured.
Yeah.
She must have lived in a city of more than 1 million people. Why is that important to you?
Okay, the reason this list got out there is that's a cut and paste from matchmaking services I was using.
I see.
And one of the matchmaking services sometimes have people from abroad. I can't take a girl from a little town in Ukraine.
Right.
She's really great in other ways. You bring her to New York, she's going to get hit by a bus in 2 seconds.
Hit by a bus, and also her lack of sophistication. It's just not going to work. Okay.
It could be a proverbial bus.
And must like pets because you want to have a dog the rest of your life.
I love dogs. I brought a picture of my dog. He's in a photo shoot that's on the stands now for Valentino.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so
All right,
this
there's
is in
your dog.
another magazine.
Oh,
So
beautiful
yeah, yeah.
dog.
Beautiful dog.
We've raised $1,000 because instead of asking for a fee, we asked for a donation to ASBC.
That is an Afghan hound.
This is
isn't it?
Borzoi. He's related to Afghan.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Very slim. Yeah, very slim. Slender.
Yeah, I like my dog.
Just like the woman who's looking
So now here's the interesting twist. Not only are you looking for this specific kind of woman, but you are saying to anyone out there who is listening, if you find me the woman I marry, or are you saying, if you find me a date with a woman who fits these specifications, which are you saying?
Okay, the thing that's in the post is for a date, okay?
Right.
So I have
For a date.
Yeah.
Dr. Chin is offering money and free cosmetic surgery to anyone who can find him a wife. Now, here's how the payout works. First date, you'll pay that person $100.
The person finding the date.
That's
not,
right.
Not
Finder's
the,
fee,
yeah, not the
$100.
date, yeah.
If there is a second date.
Or Latisse, I think.
Okay. If there is a second date, Robin, $200 or free eyelash enhancer. All right?
Oh,
Why do you laugh at that, George?
Well, it's so commercial.
Yeah.
I mean, you could meet someone at a party, or you could meet someone.
Well, Dr. Chin's going to address that in a minute.
Oh, all right.
Dr. Chin is setting himself up for failure, George.
No, but look, there are other. It's not like I don't do normal ways of meeting. You see what I'm saying?
You're just saying, hey, you're putting it out there. If your soulmate is there, maybe this is a quick way to find them.
It's a function of, I went to business school, and people are trying to set me up because I was one of the older people in business school because they did it after medical school, okay?
Why would you even bother going to business school after medical school? I mean,
I have a couple patents I'm trying to bring to product.
Okay.
So it's about raising capital. Anyway, the people there were like, look, we know you're trying to look for someone. I'll try to do it. I'll keep it in mind. But I got a lot of things going on. If you could incent me sometimes and monetize it, it'd be better. And that's what they teach you in business school. They're always trying to teach you to incent and monetize.
If Dr. Chin has a third date with your woman that you chose for him, he will give you $300 or free Botox.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it could
now,
be a third date. It doesn't, with the same woman or a different woman.
Fourth date, $400 or a Juvederm injection, which is some sort of Botox type
No,
thing.
Juvederm's a filler, so you can get rid of marionette folds and you can
I
plump
need
up your
that,
lips.
right?
If you got that, you would get rid of your...
Those laugh lines.
Yes.
Do you do it on your own self over
actually,
there?
Botox, Latisse, and Juvederm are all ophthalmology products that were invented by ophthalmologists for ophthalmology things.
Right.
And the plastic surgeons just took it over, Howard.
Yes.
So Botox was for, like, crossed eyes. Latisse for the lashes, that was a glaucoma drop, and somebody figured out that it made people's lashes grow. The side
So you're
effect.
looking at my face, you feel I need this Juvederm.
I think it would help, and it only lasts like about 6 months, and then it goes away. So there's no downside to trying it.
I need it. I need it.
Well,
Fifth date, $500 for free LASIK surgery on one eye, worth $2,000.
One eye? What do you do about the other?
Well, you got to pay for the other one.
No, or have another date.
Now, this is so unusual that it has gotten a lot of attention, Dr. Chen, because, you know, the idea that I could find you a woman and it would result in me getting paid is really quite enticing, isn't it?
Or I've actually had, since the thing came out with the post, I've had like 6 people set me up on dates, okay? 3 of the people actually declined everything, and they just wanted that money donated. So it doesn't have to be a material thing. I donated to Make-A-Wish or something like that.
Do you think that you are a difficult guy to really find? In other words, you probably never will find the right woman because you've probably met a ton of women. Being a doctor who is successful, you're probably a wealthy man. Am I correct?
Relatively, yeah.
Yes. And so, are you
Not like you.
Are you a millionaire though?
Yeah, I'm actually being interviewed for Millionaire Matchmakers.
All right, so you're a millionaire.
Yeah.
So to me, you're a guy with a high-profile job. You're not some sort of ugly dude. You got a nice look to you. I mean,
how many doctors do you know who have trouble getting a date?
Right.
No,
That's
I know.
what I'm saying.
Look, I don't have trouble getting a date, and I don't have trouble finding a girlfriend. But the parameters for the person you want to spend the rest of your life with are much higher. Like, for instance,
has anyone ever come close to being the right person?
Yes. In other words, okay, I understand what you would think if I never met anybody who met these criteria. I never had like a serious relationship.
Right.
I've had like 3 or 4 serious relationships lasting several years.
Right.
I was perfectly happy, and then I wanted to get married, but sometimes the timing didn't work out. Like, there's somebody in the studio trying to make me comfortable. We did it for 7 years.
Right.
It's just that she was, I guess, older than I was, so she was in her late 30s. I was like 30. I just finished all that training.
Right.
And most doctors are a little regressed in terms of their maturity because once they finish training, they want to have some fun. You see what I'm saying? So,
yeah, because you've worked your ass off learning.
and not slept, eat, or dated. Okay,
Right.
so by the time you finish at 30 and you're relatively successful, you want to play the field a little bit.
When's the last time you got laid?
2 weeks ago.
Oh, 2 weeks ago. How was she? Any good?
Yeah, she was
not a keeper.
Not a keeper.
No, but look,
we threw her back in the water.
Hey, look, on the positive side, that's not one of my criteria. I don't think how good she is in bed belongs in like the top 10 probably.
Really?
Yeah.
To me, that would be very important.
No, because I think, look, this is what I actually think. I think most women are actually pretty good in bed.
Yeah, how bad can they be if they got a vagina? You know, as long as I can get it in, I don't need much else.
And guys have to there's more from what I hear from friends, there's more variation in the performance on the guy side.
Right. That's true.
Guys are also not picky.
You know, you make a good point. It's really true because, like, you know, you guys go, oh, she's so good in bed. Yeah. For a guy, hey, you're inside a woman and
Look,
she looks good.
for a guy,
what
if
are you
she's
gonna do?
hot,
right.
By definition, she's good in bed.
Exactly. Hey, you know, doctor, you make a lot of sense for an eye surgeon. You really do.
Got, a lot of Ivy
Very
League
worldly.
education went into that.
Yeah.
I might have learned that at Harvard.
Guy's no dummy, I'll tell you that. He's speaking my kind of language. So Dr. Chen, what you're saying is, if there's anyone out there who is listening to the show now, how do they get in touch with you, though? Let's say they have the perfect woman for you. They know they're good for at least $100 to $200 because you're going to go on a first or second date. How do they get in touch with you?
My webmaster put up something on our website, so it's Park Avenue Safe Site. That's the name of our company.
Right.
And you can put down her parameters and a picture.
Wow. Well, this is very exciting, I must tell you. And Robin, start looking for friends and things because you could make big bucks.
I could use some filler and some.
So if you're interested, yeah, you're not kidding. If you're interested in dating Dr. Emil Chin or getting LASIK eye surgery, go to parkavenuesafesite.com. Are you worried that this could hurt your credibility?
Well, I already have like a national reputation. I'm starting to get an international one. Like, for instance, I was at a meeting last year.
But you know, for doctors, sometimes if you're up to anything unusual, which this falls into the unusual category, you know, people go, he's a bit of a kook. I don't know if I'm going to go to him. You know, aren't you afraid of that?
I don't care because my professional reputation is intact. Like, next month, I'm going to a meeting in Amsterdam to laser about this non-cutting thing.
Yeah.
So I would say almost every famous refractive surgeon who does laser vision correction, if they don't know me, they've heard of me.
Right.
And so I'm not worried about my professional reputation. And the patient side, it's different, okay? Because we're doing cosmetic elective surgery, although clearly it's functional. Like I've lasered the highest prescription in the world, minus 22, and she sat up and she just started crying. So it's not
because
like
she could see.
She said, I said, why are you crying so much? Because everybody cries a little bit. And she's like, oh, I could see the leaves on the trees. I said, okay, that's nice. She's like, no, you don't understand. Minus 22, contacts don't go up to minus 22.
Right.
They'll go up to minus 19.
So this is the first time she could really see.
She never saw a leaf on a tree. She just knew that trees had leaves.
Wow.
Is that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, so my reputation on the laser side is intact. I don't care about that. And my goal now is finding a spouse and, being a dad.
Explain to me also in your practice, you're doing eye jewelry now. What is eye jewelry?
Okay, eye jewelry, it's a little platinum implant that looks like a heart or a star, and you know the white part of your eye?
Yeah.
Okay, you make like a little incision. It's called like a scleral pocket or a conjunctival flap, and then you drop the little charm in there, and it seals in it.
Who would do that?
It's like a rapper or a rap
You got to be
artist.
nuts to fuck with your eyes like
No,
that.
it's on the outside of your eye. I bought them from a doctor. There's only 2 doctors in the United States doing that. The other one, as you can imagine, is in L.A.
But why risk your eye? I mean, your eyes.
No,
You know
it's
what
just
I mean.
you can't that one's zero risk for your sight because it's outside of your eye.
Yeah.
They do a lot of this in Holland and also Europe.
People are nuts, I tell you, doctor. They
Look, I
really
never.
are.
Yeah, seeing isn't enough. They got to do something for
I don't
their
know why
eye.
people want gold teeth either, but whatever.
Well, let me ask you this. So, just so we have a good idea, because a lot of people now are busy going through their Rolodex trying to find you a woman.
No, I
as
got a
we
better
speak.
offer because those are the date offers. But for your show, Howard, I was going to say, if I actually marry one of the women that I get set up with,
go ahead.
I'll give him my car and it's a Ferrari.
Hold it a second. Let me understand this. If any of my listeners, this is special for the Howard Stern Show.
Yep.
If any of my listeners find you the woman you'll marry, they get a Ferrari worth $100,000.
Yeah, it's about.
Is that the Ferrari? Yeah, this is a Dr. LASIK on there.
That's my car.
Well, marry the girl who's leaning on the car.
What's wrong with the girl on the car? Look at her.
I took that picture myself, Howard, actually,
Very good
in
picture.
Washington Square Park, and that's not Photoshop. That's original raw footage.
Wow.
And that's my dog, the Borzoi Rhett. He's
Who
really,
cares
really
about your
sweet.
dog? Who's the girl in the picture?
girl?
She's one of my ex-patients who's a model.
Did you date her?
You can't date a patient.
You can't?
See, that's another problem. I don't work in a hospital, so every patient that comes in is my patient. I can't really date a patient.
Is it true that you've performed LASIK on many strippers?
Yeah.
Yeah, from
Why do
like,
strippers need to see so well? You think they wouldn't want to?
Yeah, you think
No,
that-
because they can't wear glasses or something
right,
like
right.
that.
Part of their look. So
I see.
And a lot of the strippers pay you in funny money.
No, okay. Essentially, to make it a little bit better for them, they would
Yep.
pay like $6,000 in cash,
Yes.
and they give me $1,000 in funny money. but I don't really go to clubs, so it was
Right.
just a waste.
So when you got the $1,000 in funny money, would you go to the club and get a lap dance?
I brought my staff actually.
You did.
Yeah.
And did you enjoy the lap dance? Did you meet any interesting girls there?
Well, I was kind of the owner, so I didn't want to do too much of the staff, but the staff apparently enjoyed them a
Yeah,
lot.
when you're a doctor, it's hard to go to a club and be seen getting lap dances.
No, I don't mind if I was alone, but
Right.
with my staff, I'm supposed, just like when you go out with your
Right.
staff, you're not supposed to get drunk.
Oh, I've done that. So I've broken all the rules. So you my staff has seen me drunk. So
Your
when
staff has seen you do everything.
and some of these strippers who come in, they're not suitable wives, right? I mean, maybe for a date or two.
You're not looking for a stripper?
No.
Okay, look, one of them actually had a master's degree in Baruch for, I think, Masters of Science.
Wow.
Yeah, she
Did
came
you
in-
date her?
No, she came with her mom. She was a nice, normal person.
I see.
You know, so.
All right. Well, just to help us out here, because everyone wants a Ferrari. And,
Okay.
if you were to
I'm
help.
almost motivated, yeah.
Yeah, Robin, I'm going to suggest you date Dr. Chin. If you could just become a
I
white
don't
woman.
meet the criteria. I've
Right.
become white.
So Dr. Chin, if you were to compare it in the world of celebrity, thinking about a woman, an actress, let's say, so we all have an image in our mind, what actress would come to mind when you say there would be physically a wife for me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean-
Can you give us an example or two?
Okay, like, I was just at a fashion event last night because of Fashion Week.
Yes.
And I was one a couple years ago. A friend of mine works for Marc Jacobs. Okay.
Go ahead.
So she said, "Hey, do you want to be a changer for the show?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "What does a changer do?" She's like, "You know, when the models walk out and they go back on the runway, they come out 2 seconds later in a different outfit."
Yes.
I was like, I always wondered about that. How do they change so quickly? Or maybe they have body doubles or something.
Right.
She was like, "No, what they do is they walk in there, they just stand like this, and some person goes zoop, and just takes off all their clothes and then zoop, put the thing on."
Go ahead.
And I said, Yeah, I'll do that.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, right?
In fact, at America's Got Talent, that's my second job for some of the adult women. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm supposed to go to this show, and then 2 days before the Marc Jacobs show, she calls me up and says, "Hey, I got some good news and some bad news."
Right.
I said, "Okay, so what's the bad news?" She said, "Mark's afraid of the legal ramifications because we've had the problems with changes, kind of trying to fondle and you have to sign something." But
kind of animal would do that. You go ahead. Yeah.
Supermodel naked in front of you.
Right. It's hard to resist.
It's
yes.
what we call an involuntary autonomous action. But anyway, so basically, she said, no changing for you. And I was like, oh, that sucks. But then she said, you can come to the show and the after party. And I said, okay, what's the after party? She's like, you know who is walking at the lead? They always have a lead walker kind of thing. I was like, no. She's like, Giselle. I was
Giselle
like,
Bundchen.
Yeah, I met her at the after party.
Now, would she be a woman that you would find suitable as a wife?
See, Giselle's funny because when you look at her on the runway, she's dropped and gorgeous, okay?
Right.
Here's the thing. When you're like 2 feet in front of her, stuff like that, I'm looking up and down and just trying to find something wrong with her.
Right.
She's flawless.
Flawless.
She just doesn't look like a human being.
Now, Giselle Bundchen is one of those rare, she's in rarefied air. You're talking about...
She's like 11.
She makes $45 million a year because she's so beautiful.
She's like an 11.
An 11. So you're looking really for an 11.
No, an 8.
All right. She's an 8?
No, I'm
You're looking for an 8,
No.
but she's an 11.
Yeah.
All right. Who is an 8 that you can think of?
Actress-wise?
Yeah, actress-wise.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe a Giselle with acne or something.
A shorter Giselle would be good.
Right. So Giselle turned you on. You said, well, there's a woman who physically fits the criteria as a wife.
No, look, I would say most strippers meet my criteria of 0 to 2.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? But there's like intellectual compatibility. We have to be friends.
All right.
I've remained friends with most of my long-term relationships.
But Giselle's an example of a woman who turns you on.
Yeah, she's hot. All the other people I think are hot. Angelina Jolie, I think, is hot.
She would be a suitable wife. Go ahead.
Also an 11.
Right.
Let's see who else.
Clearly an 11.
Yeah, she's clearly an 11.
Right. Have you ever met a 12?
Well, you know, do you think Angelina Jolie is really smart?
She
I don't
seems
know.
very smart for a
She's fine to
celebrity.
me. Who cares?
She seems smart.
I'm thinking if I could get her away from Brad Pitt, I might win myself a Lamborghini.
No, she does seem smart because she does a lot of relief work in the third world, and she doesn't just like show up. She actually does the real work.
Why did you once dress up as a woman to get into a club? What tell me about that?
That was a lesbian. I did my training at St. Vincent's Hospital, and this is back in like 1990 or something like that. And there was like a hardcore lesbian-only club where it wasn't guy-friendly.
Right.
You know how a lot of clubs are guy-friendly? You can bring a guy who pretends he's gay, it's fine or whatever.
Right.
You couldn't go unless you're a woman.
No, we don't know anything about that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying yes like I know anything.
Okay,
It's true. Why am I saying yes?
Well,
Yes.
I thought you would know because you like lesbian kind of
Right,
stuff.
I love lesbians.
Okay, so, I mean, who doesn't? Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so there was a club that was hardcore, and outside of the club, there was gorgeous women just trying to get in, waiting online, and I said to the bouncer, how do you get in? He's like, the only way you get into this club is if you're a woman. So at the time I was dating Sherry, she's actually in the waiting room, and she was...
This is one of the women you have dated.
20 years ago, okay?
She's in the waiting room?
Yeah, about 20 years ago.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I said, Sherry, I want to go to this club. Will you go with me? She's like, well, I'm not into that kind of thing because I'm a nice Southern Christian girl, but I'll do it for you if it's your birthday.
Right.
So I waited till my birthday, and then she dressed me up in heels, bought me an outfit. She's a fashion designer and that kind of stuff.
How did you look? I could imagine you could pass for a woman.
See,
You're
that's what we thought. Sherry and I thought I would. Once she got me all dolled up, she thought I would look like not that bad.
Right.
I looked horrible.
You looked horrible.
I looked horrible.
Did you get into the club?
I got into the club. Okay,
Right.
so we got into the club. We're making out, and it's great because you feel like you're in the club. I mean, and you could see everybody is great. It was. I think I recommend it to everybody.
Well, let me get to. Let me take a couple of quick phone calls. This is Dr. Emil Chin. He wants to find a wife, and if you can find him one, you might even win a Lamborghini.
It's a Ferrari.
Excuse me, a Ferrari. Yeah. I don't know where I got Lamborghini from. David, go ahead. You're on the air, Manhattan.
Hi, Howard. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
I live on the street with this guy. You ought to invite him in Manhattan down. I don't want to mention the street because we don't want to get him in trouble. Everyone knows he lives way downtown. You ought to invite him to join the Whack Pack.
Why is that? Why? He's a doctor. He's a respected.
Got this shiny red Ferrari he's offering to people. I walk by that house every day. He is the biggest knob you've ever met.
What do you mean knob? What did he do wrong?
Yeah, well, he walks around with a prune face, and he's
prune
got the
face.
Same Spain football jersey he wears every day. Thing must.
Are you jealous of the doctor with his money and the fact that he wants?
I live on the street.
What's wrong with the football football jersey.
We're neighbors.
Oh.
What is wrong with a football jersey?
I wear a lot of football jerseys.
Well, he wears the same one. It looks like he looks like he stands it in the corner every evening when he goes.
All right, Johnny O, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, Howard. Hey, look, sorry, Doc. I mean, I know you're a really well-respected guy, but you're losing a lot of credibility here, my friend. I mean, you're looking like...
Because he wants to find the right woman?
Well, no,
By fraternizing with Howard, you shouldn't say that.
Howard,
he was
look
about
at
to say
the way,
that.
I mean, look, you're a very, very well-respected man in the industry, and you're on, and again, no offense, Howard, but you're on the Howard Stern show looking for chicks. I mean,
what's wrong with the Howard Stern show?
Look, I don't like people saying.
Howard, I didn't mean it that way. I meant it.
Well, what way do you want it? You're respected, but you can't go on Howard. That's like insulting
Dude,
Howard.
You're a fucking doctor in New York City. I mean, if I was you, I would have pussy lined up down far.
It's wormy because that's
He gets a lot of pussy, this doctor. According to what he says, he got laid just 2 weeks ago. What's the matter with you? Eric, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, now.
Hey, now.
Hey, I just wanted to find out, what does George think of this guy? Is he doable? Is he a
George,
good
are you
guy?
attracted to Dr. Chin?
I have absolutely no interest in what he's interested in.
Why is that?
But you mean women?
Yes.
Right. But could you be attracted to Dr. Chin? I mean, just looking at him physically. So you tell the ladies out there.
You know, you got me into trouble with Brad already.
I see. So you're going to keep quiet about it. All right. Well, you could have played Sulu, actually. I'm looking at you. You're Asian.
I love Star Trek. That's a good show.
Yeah, everyone loves Star Trek.
Would you be interested in playing Sulu?
I don't know what that means.
By the way, are you, Doctor, this is a difficult question to ask, but I'll ask it. Are you over 9 inches? Because when we look for women, they're going to want to know your penis size.
Yeah, I'm not over.
Yeah, they have
You're not over
criteria
9
too,
inches.
you know.
Are you over 6?
I haven't rulered it, but I
Right.
would say I'm average.
6 inches?
I don't know what average is, but
6 inches is considered a little bit longer than average. 5 inches would be average.
I would say 5 then. I think I'm about
5.
average.
Mm.
Yeah.
George,
Hey,
5.
Howard.
Only 5.
Are you girthy? Or are you just...
Are you girthy? I'm 1 inch. Don't be ashamed. So don't.
Is that circumference or like diameter?
Circumference.
No, that's
I think it's probably, people take a tape measure and they
Girth is circumference. I know. I measured every angle.
I never measured.
All right. Fair enough.
Hey, Howard.
Yes.
Quick question. Did they ask him to do the chicken dance because it was chicken feet?
For George, yeah. Well, I don't know.
George Sulu, George Takei.
And doctor, are you good in bed? Can you give a woman an orgasm so that the women out there will want to date you?
I've been complimented a lot
You have.
about that.
Are you good at giving oral? Do you know what to do with your tongue?
I'll do it reciprocally.
You will. She blows you, you'll eat her up.
It's like, you're nice to each other.
No, a lot of Harvard
Quid
men feel
pro
the same
quo.
way. A lot of Harvard men. Thank you. Well, this is exciting, isn't it, Robin?
Well,
I
I
wanted to
wish
say
him
hi-
luck in his search for love.
I wanted to say hi to Robin because I've been watching or listening to your show. In 1983, I started.
Yes.
When and I just saw, Gary, and.
Were you shocked when you saw Gary?
I said, are you boy Gary?
Yeah.
Because I remember him as boy Gary.
Yes.
He said, well, since I turned 52, they stopped calling me that.
No, we call him Baba Booey now.
Baba Booey?
Baba Fooey, Fafa Fuhai, any of those names. Eric, go ahead. One last statement for the doctor or question. Go ahead.
Howard, it's an honor. Robin, glad you're doing good. This guy sounds like a complete douche with his list, man. It is unrealistic. Seriously, come on now.
All right. Well, listen, it is unorthodox, but he's laying it out there.
47 years old. He still hasn't found anybody. Isn't it time to lower the standards, maybe?
Well,
he doesn't want to. That's why he's opening up the search.
I would say lowering this.
I want to ask George. George,
He won't let you talk. He won't let you talk. Go ahead. Yes, you were going to say.
I would say lowering your standards, as long as it's something that you think will make you happy, ultimately is fine. But you shouldn't lower your standards just because people tell you should, and then be in a relationship where you always think that you're missing something, ultimately be unhappy, and that would be an ultimate.
What do your parents think of your search? Do they ever advise you not to do this?
Well, my parents always give me bad advice because they're like most parents, and they give advice for you as them.
Right.
It's very hard to dissociate and
They're
figure
not
out-
you.
Look, I was born in this country. They were born in China. My father just turned 90.
Right.
His father's father had 3 wives.
There you go.
That was considered normal.
Well, that's his advice.
And in your case, it's not bad advice. You could have Angelina Jolie, Giselle, and somebody else. Ham Hands Bill. Please, I have to move along, but go ahead.
Yes,
Quick statement.
I want to thank Dr. Chin because over 10 years ago, 3 of his guys carried me up the stairs, Malazami Soto, because of my wheelchair. and he did a great job on my eyes. He only charged me $1,799. I still have the receipt. And he was a great guy, you know.
You're saying Dr. Chin treated you, Ham Hands?
Yeah, he did my eyes. I don't know if you remember me.
Yeah, because there was a guy in a wheelchair. Nobody would laser him because he was on an oxygen machine.
Right.
You had to lie him flat for the laser, and it's you can't lie flat and be on oxygen at the same time. So we spent a lot of money and expense just trying to help him out because he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, we know him.
And he says when he's like wheeling and it rains and then you touch your glasses, people who aren't in wheelchairs don't understand. You get all dirty from wheeling, then you touch your glasses, your whole face is black.
So you helped him out?
Yeah, so they carried me up the stairs. He only charged me $17.99.
Yeah, we charged him half price. I think.
And you can't find the doctor or girl? What's wrong with you? You know girls.
He was a nice guy. I wanted to say hi to you. I was actually just thinking about you the other day.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Chin.
You're welcome. Thanks for
All
calling
right,
in.
Ham Hands Bill and a
Ham
rare...
Hands giving you an endorsement.
Yeah, you know, he's never endorsed anyone on the show before.
My eyes are perfect, and I always tell people, go to Dr. Chin. At that time, he was at 14th Street.
We moved to Park and 25th. So.
Very good, Dr. Chin.
You know this? You know him?
Oh, yeah, I know Ham Hands. He won a
Ham
song
Hands for
parody
years.
contest. He wrote a beautiful song about Robin and her
that's
childhood.
so weird.
Yeah. I was thinking
Let me play a little of that for you, Doctor,
Yeah.
so you know who you worked on. This is where Ham Hands wrote a song as Robin's father. You know, Robin's father molested her. And Ham Hands...
That, and over 30 years ago, I recorded one of many great nights with my young, sweet Robin. And here, you will all find out why I have Ham Hands, why she likes high colonics, and why she likes big dicks of her tight, juicy asshole.
Yeah, well, thank you for helping him. By the
Thank
way.
you for helping him.
Way to go, Dr. Chin.
Thank you. I see you at AGT tonight.
All right, very good, Ham Hands. And I know you'll see me clearly thanks to Dr. Chin. All right, listen, we've learned all we can about Dr. Chin. Fascinating. Please keep us posted.
Yes,
if you
we
find
would love to know how
Howard,
it works out.
I wanted to donate a free laser to your charity because I think your wife is into dogs. And Robin, we're going to donate a free laser to any cancer charity you choose. They'll probably raise about $10,000, and we've donated.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, we've donated $200,000 in free laser. And actually, anyone listening, if they really, really like a charity that's a good charity, and they come in and write to us and stuff like that, we'll donate a laser, and the typical raise is $10,000.
Well, isn't this a feel-good interview? I'll tell you. Maybe we should.
Absolutely.
George,
Everybody makes out.
Maybe you should lead us all in the chicken dance as we all go to commercial or something. All right, listen. Thank you, Dr. Chin. If you're interested in dating Dr. Emil Chin, believe it or not, or getting LASIK eye
He's
surgery,
available.
go to parkavenuesafesite.com. And as we chicken dance our way out of here, we say adieu. Thank you, Dr.
Thanks
Chin.
a lot, Howard. I appreciate it.
Hey,
Good job, Dr. Chin.
I really appreciate it.
All right. Well, I hope you find love.
These are your gift certificates for you and Robin.
Oh, how nice of you.
And then Sherry, who's my ex-girlfriend, she made a dress for Robin.
No, nice.
Good luck to you, Dr. Chin.
Well, thanks a lot. Nice meeting you.
You'll find love.
I went to a Star Trek convention.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Where?
when I was in
New York?
Yeah, when I was in high school. I think it was at Jacob Javits or something.
Yeah. You are a rugged individualist. Stick to it.
I appreciate it.
You're
Thanks a lot, guys.
one of a
Really appreciate
kind.
it.
Thanks, Dr. Chin.
So, Dr. Chin, you've told this story, to the Post, to several people now. What separated this experience of explaining yourself and sort of breaking down what you're looking for from all the rest? How did Howard make this a unique experience?
Well, Howard's a really good interviewer because he kind of lets the subject speak, and he doesn't have prepared canned questions, and he doesn't want the canned answer.
Howard appeals to a mass audience, a very diverse audience as well, which can be really beneficial, but it can also attract some people that are a little bit crazy. Are you worried, based on some of the callers, that you might get some negative feedback?
Well, look, we had some callers who were clearly not very nice people, but it's interesting. The patient, I didn't even know that patient was a fan of Howard's. That was 20 years ago almost. I've done about 20,000 procedures, so I don't have to worry about what some people might not be happy about it. Because if you think about it, the people who aren't happy about it. There are people who think that I shouldn't have my own criteria for love or marriage. There are other people who are saying, let's say they're gay and they like people of the same sex. These days, certainly you shouldn't say to them, "Oh, it's something wrong with that, and you should change yourself." And what are they going to do? Deprogram me? I mean, it's really unfair for people to say that I can't have my own preferences. And I do think I'm honestly a nice guy who wants to get married and find a wife. And this is just one more venue to do it. It's not like I don't go to regular events. This is my chance in my life to make myself happy. And I do realize the only thing that's really going to make me happy, just like historically, the only thing that has made me happy in the past is a very healthy, positive relationship. And hopefully this one lasts for the rest of my life.
Well, I wish you good luck with that, Doctor. Thank you for sharing your story with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John Hyde and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, this is Richard Christie, and on Monday's wrap-up show, I talked about how I cannot give up drinking for a month, especially around Halloween time, my favorite time of the year. And Yucko the Clown also came in to give us an update on what he's been up to, so check it out.
The big news, I guess, was towards the end of the show when Richard Christie was offered a prime choice seat to see his favorite band, Metallica, in studio, which he offered to make out with me to do. He offered to do, well, a lot more crazier stuff than that.
Drink his own semen and blow a program director who had no idea that Richard would blow him.
And all Richard had to do was agree not to drink for a month, and he couldn't do it. And even when Richard agreed, you can hear it in his voice that he couldn't do it. Now, the show, it's great because you always want to find that one thing that someone really isn't willing to do. And with Richard, he's willing to do practically anything for a lot less. But I think as the days get closer and closer to Metallica appearing on the show, and I see him in his Metallica t-shirt right now, it's going to really, really eat away at Richard. And maybe we'll end up seeing him on the 19th floor that day.
Well, it's a strange thing because somebody fed me the idea that Richard wouldn't stop drinking. And I thought to myself, well, this is absurd. This can't be correct. And somebody's like, no. And then I checked with somebody else and they backed it up. And so I told Howard over the weekend we should talk to Richard about this on the air. Richard never imagined that it was as big a deal as it is to you.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm really shocked that you can't do this, considering all the other stuff you can do. You've got the willpower. I mean, you did it with your weight and a lot of other stuff. What is it, and what made you change your mind?
It all boils down to you picked the worst time of the year to ask me to stop drinking. This is my favorite. It's 45 days till Halloween, the greatest beer drinking time of the year. I worship pumpkin beer. I already bought tickets to a pumpkin beer festival with 83 different kinds of pumpkin beer. And a buddy of mine's coming up from Virginia to go to it with me, and I was thinking, I can't let my beer drinking friends down like that.
All right, so let me ask you a question. The worst time of the year. If I said to you, you couldn't drink for the entire month of December, including Christmas and New Year's, does that work for you?
That's the second worst time of the year.
What if I said none of the summer months, May, June, July, and August?
I love 4th of July.
What I'm saying is every day is the worst time of the year for you.
March, I could
You're right.
quit.
March,
Yeah.
Easter doesn't bother him.
January, easily. Because I'm depressed in January after the holidays anyway, so I'd add a little bit more non-drinking depression onto it. So, but it's just, I think this was Jason's idea, and Sal or somebody was saying, oh, aren't you pissed at Jason? I'm like, no, it's a brilliant idea because they thought of the one thing that I don't want to do. You know,
I have to tell you, whenever we come up with stuff like this, it never works when somebody says, I would do this for that, or I would do that for that. It only worked for you because your ideas are so fucking outrageous.
We're sitting in meetings and Richard's like, I'll gargle, come. And once you say you'll do it, it's like, all right, well, then that's off the table.
Yeah, I would have totally made out with John Hine, but unfortunately he wasn't into it.
How tough is it going to be when Metallica's in here and you're sitting there knowing that you could have been right there the whole time?
It's going to be devastating. It'll be hard, and to not even be able to listen is going to be tough.
Is there a part of you, because I went through this with my weed challenge, my 30-day weed challenge, and there was no prize at the end of the tunnel for me. Part of it was, to try and please Howard, and part of it was I was curious if I could do it myself. Is there a part of you that's somewhat disappointed with yourself that I know you think like, oh yeah, 30 days, I can just do it, but is there a part of you that's kind of like, wow, I can't believe I can't say yes to this challenge?
Yeah, it is. And when I think about it, I'm like, man, I really do love beer, and I do, I kind of need it,
But Richard, you can do it. Isn't it just like a value thing? Like you don't want to lose out on. To you, it's more fun what you'd lose out on.
Exactly.
Plus, you said you feel you have responsibility towards your alcoholic friend.
Yeah.
but it's like starting a diet. You say, okay, I'm going to start a diet. I'm not going to drink, and I'm not going to eat candy for a certain amount of time. And then you're like, oh, but so and so's birthday party's coming up, and this and that. And then of course, it's there's always something. So you just have to sort of pick it and go.
I know, and that's the thing. It's like I started thinking about all of the fun things that I have, and plus football season just started, and I love watching the Chiefs and having beers during the games, and I don't know how the hell John Hine watches football without drinking beer during
I know how he does it. If he drinks beer, he'll die, which eventually you will too if you keep this up.
Doesn't slow anybody else down around here.
Are you?
No, but I mean, but John's got diabetes. He doesn't.
That's not why he doesn't drink. You see what he eats on a daily? He puts on a Hershey bar because he has diabetes.
Where's Will? Are you upset that people are now calling you a poser when it comes to Metallica?
I am not. I'm wearing Metallica Kill 'Em All shoes and a Master of Puppets shirt. I'm not a poser.
In a way, I think it makes him cooler that he won't give up. Like, yeah, I ain't giving up drinking.
Yeah.
If he gave up drinking, it's almost more of a poser situation right there.
I had to weigh it. I have mostly I have two types of friends, metalheads and drinkers, and a lot of them are both. So I think they're going to understand my position that I didn't want to stop drinking for a month, even though it would have meant getting to see pretty much the biggest metal band there is, and one of my all-time favorite bands.
I'm sitting here. This is what I'm doing. I'm trying to think of what I wouldn't do for a month if I knew Bruce Springsteen was playing in the studio. I'm trying to think of what's the thing that I would have to stop doing for a month, and I can't think of anything. I can stop eating chocolate for a month. I could.
Stop watching TV for a month?
No, for you it's different. I think it's like, would you make out with Richard?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Could you stop watching TV for a month? No TV?
Yes. Yeah, I could.
DVDs included.
I could. Like, I got a ton of books that I would like to read. Like, I can't.
And you got to read them.
Yes, I could read them.
Right. Could you not lick your lips for a month?
That's an involuntary action.
The other thing you did, Richard, when Howard started accusing you of being an alcoholic, you're like, yeah, I am. You were just so nonchalant about it. It kind of diffused that situation. But I think you sort of take pride in your alcoholism. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but you embrace it. You wear it on your sleeve, and God knows where else. But you're not embarrassed, or you don't think there's a problem with it.
No, I mean, for me, it doesn't negatively affect my life, other than, a lot of people say, well, it's bad for your health and all that, but I love beer. I'm a big craft beer guy right now. There's kind of a beer revolution going on with so many great flavors and breweries in America, and I love to partake in all of it. And I love beer. I can't help it. I mean, look at Homer Simpson, one of the greatest TV characters of all time. He drinks beer all the time.
A cartoon.
Yeah, he's also animated.
You say it hasn't hurt you yet, and I'm a fan of you drinking. I'm not telling you to stop drinking, but in serious terms, we all went out for a big dinner, last Christmas to a steak place, and you drank like a maniac. We all drank like maniacs, but for me, that's an exception, not the rule. And you were blackout drunk. I mean, you were blackout drunk afterwards. And yes, you were surrounded by friends that helped you get into a car and go home. But one of these days, dude, you're going to be blacked out drunk with the wrong crowd or in the wrong place, and you could get hurt.
I'm sorry, Benji. As hard as it is to believe, I haven't gotten that crazy since that dinner, and that was in January.
Oh, I thought that was like a normal Saturday night for you.
That was a weird night because I remember Richard called me. We had a whole discussion, And then he called me back 5 minutes later as if we'd never had the discussion.
I was sitting right next to you when he called twice.
No, at the end of the night, Richard thanked me. And then 2 minutes later, he thanked me again. And then 5 minutes later, he thanked me again, not realizing he just thanked me twice. And of course, I said, "You're welcome."
Richard's
each time.
not worried about those kind of consequences. Like, if he gets raped, I mean, Richard, I know rape is not a joke, but it's okay. You got raped; it would be a good story. But if what the consequences he's worried about is damage to his brain, because I know we've talked about that, like brain cells, and that's what we should do, one of those brain scans on him and see, has he had consequences, and is he going to have more?
Yeah, I would be interested in finding that out. But I did okay in the IQ test, so I guess so far.
See, that's a whole weird thing. Like people always talk about, like, I always read that Mickey Mantle is like one of the greatest baseball players of all time, and you read his drinking stories, and everybody was like, the guy hit 500 home runs. I said maybe he would have hit 800.
Doesn't that bother you,
done?
Richard, if you are diminishing yourself in a way that you won't be able to ever replace?
Think of the prank calls you could be making.
Hey, I made one today. Howard played a new one today. So, yeah, I mean, I do think of that, but I don't know. To me, life is short. I love to have fun.
You're making it shorter.
If that's
yeah, but you know what? I'll defend Richard here because I kind of have the same attitudes with certain things. You make that bargain with yourself. You're like, okay, I know this isn't good for me, but I enjoy it, and I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's the right decision, but I understand where that decision.
I've made 1,000 bargains with myself. Clearly, I've given in on some things, but when push came to shove, and it wasn't even that hard of a push, I could do it, and I did it. And I think it must be a little bit scary that you can't do it or won't do it.
Well, how about this? What if you would have had an Amsterdam trip planned when Howard asked you to stop smoking pot for a month?
I can't answer, but I can tell you during my 30-day free, I was out in Las Vegas where I would have loved to have smoked out there. I was in Atlantic City where for one of the block parties where fans were literally shoving weed into my hand and going, "We won't tell anybody, we swear," blah. Would have loved to have gotten high. Trust me, when you're at a block party, you need to get high to have a good time. And I didn't. I mean, I made a commitment and I didn't do it.
Richard, you know what is curious? What is Mrs. Christie's stance on this, meaning your wife? Like, where does she fit into all of this?
She would have been supportive of me stopping for a month, of course.
But
yeah.
is it
she
one of those
doesn't really drink that much. I mean, we go out and watch football together and we'll have a few beers.
Does your drinking ever become an issue with her or not really?
No, because like I said, when I went out with you guys, we got crazy and it was all the guys having a big steak dinner and they were, I think I was trying to impress you by downing glasses of wine very quickly. But when I'm with my wife, we're just relaxing and enjoying each other's company. So it's not a crazy marathon type thing.
Ryan in Idaho, welcome to the Wrap-Up Show.
Hey, John. Richard, I'm a huge Metallica fan myself, and I'd give anything for the opportunity that you've been given. And where James Hetfield is a recovering alcoholic, don't you see how disrespected he's going to feel that you chose booze over the band?
Yeah, and I thought about that. I mentioned that on the show that he doesn't drink anymore. But at one time he was a big beer guy. I used to love, I saw them about 20-some years ago, and he'd, hold a glass of beer up and cheers the crowd, and everybody go nuts. And I remember drinking beer thinking, wow, this is the greatest time ever. But, yeah, I hope he's not bummed. I don't think he'll care either way. He'll be like, who the hell's Richard Christie? I don't give a shit. But, yeah, I understand your point for sure.
Our next guest, who was featured today. We haven't seen him in the studio in a while. And Yucko, I thought you did a great job in there. Very funny today. You had a lot of great stuff.
Yes, thank you. I'm out of retirement for the wrap-up show. Then I'm going back into retirement.
Yeah, I know you've got this weird retirement thing going on. But what I want to talk about with Will and Gary is, what did you come here to do today? Because I heard that you were burning the costume. Yucko was gone, and it was kind of you were retiring the character permanently. Did you change your mind once you got here, or was that never part of the plan?
The burning the suit was never part of the plan. It was kind of like I was going to be like retiring my jersey today. I wouldn't be in it right now if I didn't have fine time after this shit,
Well, but Will's a big sports fan, and I know he knows the difference between retiring a jersey and burning it at the stake. Will, what happened here?
Yeah, I mean, we never said we were going to burn the costume per se, but we were going to retire it. Like, he was going to take it off, and that was going to be the end of it. We'd never see it again.
The end of Yucko, so to speak.
The end of Yucko,
But
exactly.
was there any talk of destroying it?
Not particularly, no. Listen, when we said retire the character, we didn't get very specific about what that meant. That being said, it was supposed to be the end of Yucko. So,
Well, yeah. I mean,
but here he is. Right now, we got Yucko standing right back. That awful
You'll
outfit.
never get rid of me. No. This is kind of the winding down, though. For real.
That sounds more like Roger to me.
Well, shit. I'm having a fucking identity crisis right now.
Wait, do you want to retire, Yucko?
No, he wanted to get on the show. That's what he wanted.
Okay, but no, from here, let's say whatever it was before. Now, do you want Yucko to continue or not?
Do you want to continue getting fat and dying of a heart attack before you're 45?
I'm not. Well, I would love that. No. But what I'm saying is, do you enjoy? 35? Do you want to keep doing Yucko?
Yeah. Can I weigh in on this for a second? It's really interesting, Yucko, because I thought that Yucko had not been funny a couple times, and I broke your balls really bad. And today, I thought Yucko was great. So I'm not sure I want to see Yucko go away because, quite honestly, and this has got to be a big dilemma for you. Yucko can get booked. I don't know that Roger can ever get back on the show.
It was pretty clear that Roger can't get back on the show after what Howard was saying today. But he did like Yucko. So what do you do?
Fuck it. I'm not gonna do. Roger on the show. He said it himself. I'm boring as Roger. So I just wanted to come in and plug the show. Bottom line, I'll go ahead and say it. But
and that's what you.
And I got the feeling. I think things. I might not be doing the show again, and just want to thank Howard for fucking putting the.
Don't say goodbye yet. Don't we haven't officially said you're not doing it.
I am because I'm gonna jump out the 36th floor window after this.
You're finally making money. Don't do that.
So when people say, you know what, you were basically telling Will that you would do anything to get on the show, and then once you got to the show, you were going to do what you want to do. It was almost important to say that to open the door versus if you just said, hey, I got Brickleberry coming up, and I want to.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was a conspiracy. I think it was more like he just decided, or was it? Like, was this like this big plan? Like, I'm going to trick them? I don't think that's what it was.
No,
I think he really did want to, was going to retire.
I'm not like one of those fucking broads that come on and say, hey, I'm going to get naked if I get in the studio, and then she doesn't get naked,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Howard wanted the suit, which I doubt he does, I would give up the suit right now.
Would you ever do like Gallagher and his brother did, where you have another Yucko out there?
Yucko too?
Yeah, if you're too busy.
Yeah, I don't know who wants to see that shit.
Because I think if Brickleberry gets big, the Yucko character is like one of the best ways you can go out and perform.
Well, yeah, I mean, we put so many Stern references into the show, and Yucko is like a recurring thing in our shows, like a little recurring character.
But you could be the fat lady out on stage too, the character you do on Brickleberry, right?
Oh, Connie? Yeah. No.
But I got a question for you because it's hard for me to tell. Would you? So now you have success and you got the show Brickleberry. So would you rather be writing that show and have people watch it, or would you rather play as Yucko the Clown in front of a huge crowd?
Well, see, it's weird. And if I may expound for a second, it's like, when you do stand-up, you get that instant gratification, that instant fucking laugh, from the audience. But, when you do a TV show, you write it, it's sent overseas to get animated, and, you never really see the end product. Then, you never get to hear the laugh like you do when you do stand-up.
So, so is Yucko might be dead, but stand-up's not out of the question? Like, would Roger go out and do stand-up?
I think I'm willing to do anything to make money when it gets done. Short of getting on my knees.
Can I ask real quick? You said you outsource the animation. There's like Chinese kids in some factory writing your characters right now,
I think
drawing them.
They're Korean.
North Koreans.
Yeah.
North Koreans. Dennis Rodman was working on the
South Koreans.
I was going to ask you, how would you describe the unveiling when Roger decided to take off the Yucko mask in the studio today and we got to see Roger?
Well, I mean, most of us around here have known Roger for a while, but it is kind of scary. It's definitely jarring the first time you see Roger as opposed to Yucko. Because, like Howard said today, he does kind of have these sad eyes.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Roger, I'm going to talk to Roger for a minute. I'm surprised, and I don't...
It sounds like you're trying to conjure out a demon, like an exorcism. Like,
no,
let me talk to Roger.
No, it's weird because I remember the first time I saw him out of the outfit. We went to Vegas.
It was in Vegas,
and we were at a strip club. And I remember, like, who's the sad dude in the corner? Because you're sort of quiet. You're not very Like you're, I wouldn't say you're antisocial, but you're not the life of the party by any stretch of the imagination. And so you do sort of seem weird when you're out of the outfit.
Yeah. I'll be the first one to say that. Like, I'm not really extroverted. That's one thing about the clown suit. It's like, it's really cathartic because you feel like you can say anything and do anything. It's almost like a pathetic superhero costume. Like, or, you know.
Hey, I remember the first time we were in Vegas, actually, he was Roger. Weren't you like protesting Yucko in front of the hotel?
Oh, yeah. I was greeting the limos as they were coming in, saying, fuck Yucko.
How did you expect Robin to take your joke? You hit her, as you always do, pretty hard.
Yucko hit her pretty hard. With the watermelon Noma joke? Yeah. I mean, you remember? No. It's like, as soon as this grease paint comes off, you know, you do feel bad. I mean, you know, it sucks what happened to her. It really does.
Ronnie has another character. Isn't Ronnie sometimes Ronald also?
Yeah, that guy's boring. Ronald and Roger should hang out together.
We should go golfing or do a sitcom together.
But one of the knocks on Yucko before was, I mean, you were the racist clown. Like, when you came in, you would just, I mean, you wouldn't pull any punches. And then you kind of got a little nicer as time went on. But today, I think you were back to being that full-fledged racist. So congratulations.
Thank you, John.
Somebody said, I don't remember this. I was looking up here. One of the calls said, did you ever come in as a pedophile clown? Was that one of your bits?
I mean, that was my very first appearance. I came in.
Yucko the pedophile clown?
Yeah.
Don't remember, that's why John the Stutterer was so angry at him.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, I can't remember all these things.
That was the problem. Yucko got to know everybody that works here, and then he started to be nicer to people.
Right.
I think that was the nuke the fridge moment.
I know what you're talking about. So, Gary, what do you do? I mean, does Yucko come back, you think, or does he go out on a high?
Hard to say. But I mean, he said, you know, it's all a rule until it's not.
That's the problem with this place. You put down these big edicts, and then they just disappear.
What would your decision be, Will?
I love Yucko.
Yes.
I think he's funny. If he comes in like he did today and he hits it hard, that's the thing. He's got to just be brutal and kill people. Sometimes he comes in and a little Roger sneaks in. He's got to stick to the Yucko all the time. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, it sounds like the costume's going to live on, Yucko. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you guys. And thank you guys for everything over the years.
All right, don't get soft on us.
Yeah, that was Roger.
You're welcome, Roger.
On Tuesday's wrap-up show, all the talk was about, well, one of the most important things ever on the Howard Stern program, the spoons that JD collects. You'll hear how Richard offered JD a spoon and he put it away, his safe, how he deep down, although he's saying he doesn't want any spoons, he really wants them. Yes, no means yes. Check it out.
JD apparently is refusing to resurrect his spoon collection. He told me that if any spoon is sent to him, he will refuse it, a la Ringo with,
Did you see the picture that Sal sent out? Sal had his grandmother's spoon collection.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
There's a whole rack for those and everything.
He wants to bring it and hang it on JD's wall, and JD's all pissed off.
JD's whole rap is that, you know, he can't articulate this, but like, hey, I collected spoons for a brief moment, but once you collect, you know, always a spoon collector.
My wife and I were in England, and we got him a British spoon.
He said he was really irritated.
He was mad. We were all excited. We spent £5 on this thing, which is like $7.50 or something in US dollars, and we brought it back. It had Prince William on it. He was like, "Oh, real fucking funny," and he threw it right in the garbage.
He didn't even accept your gift.
He tossed it in the corner. I think it's thrown away by
Don't you
now,
think
but-
he should get a rack and embrace it? Like, just put a rack up in his office, and all the spoons, he's going to get a gazillion spoons.
Well, I was going to say, now he's going to get a ton. So he's just going to refuse them all? He should sort of, take them in and be proud of it, own it. And then actually it'll be much better because the more he protests about it, the more spoons he's going to get. Okay, here he comes, the spoon collector himself,
I'm
J.D.
not a spoon
Harmeyer.
collector, Hardy fucking hard.
Wait, I'm not joking. I'm being serious now.
Yes.
Richard went on vacation, spent £5. Spent £5 on a gift for you, which you then received and threw in the trash?
Yeah. We know what kind of gift. It was one of those gag gifts, all right?
It wasn't a gift. It was a nice spoon.
Gift.
A spoon and we brought that spoon 3,000 miles.
Spoon is not in the garbage.
Right, brought it across the ocean.
Yeah.
Spoon is not in the garbage.
But JD,
Where is it?
Can't you embrace the joke?
I embrace it, all right.
Wait, if it's not in the garbage, where's the spoon?
It's in my office. It's bottom shelf.
Okay,
with
so
another spoon that someone emailed me.
All right, so you
mailed me.
So you
Shut up.
So you are collecting them.
What am I getting? Well, okay. Yeah, I can't win with this fucking shit.
No, seriously, if you're collecting them in a drawer, you're collecting. I'm not saying you're displaying them.
It's 2 spoons that people have emailed me, or not emailed.
How does someone email you a spoon?
With a digital printer.
3D printer, yeah.
No. So,
do you feel wrong about throwing it out?
I would have felt bad. I wasn't going to throw the thing away in front of Richard.
Well, you just tossed it in your on like.
Well, what am I
in your
supposed to do with it,
little
Richard?
cabinet.
You know I don't actually collect spoons.
I thought you would put it up on your computer, like where you could look at it, or put it on your mixing board where it'd be on display.
There's no room for a spoon.
You know, Gary, sometimes
it's a tiny spoon. There's
and
plenty
by the way,
of room.
Sal now wants to grab his mother-in-law's collection of spoons.
Yeah, see how big that is? It's
Yes,
an awesome collection.
yes, no, okay. And wants to hang it in my office, and that's not going to happen. And I'm telling you right now, if he brings those spoons, if anyone brings any spoons here,
they will
be tossed. I don't care. You all know what you're doing, so fuck off.
I don't think that's.
Yeah, but what if they're like our real sentimental spoons?
Like I have a spoon.
Well, then don't send them to me because I'm.
Well,
telling
you're the keeper.
I know. I'm not the keeper of spoons.
You are collecting them.
No, I don't collect them.
Yes, you do. They're in your drawer. You just said that.
No, I don't. When did I just say that? I said I don't.
Did you not say you have 2 spoons in your drawer that people have emailed you? Forget the email joke that people have given you.
I'm going to trash them. I'm sorry, Richard. I'm trashing it.
But why?
Why?
JD,
Okay, all right. Hold on. I won't trash Richards, but I'm trashing anyone else.
But JD, you're
Peace and love.
You're gonna get a bunch of spoons in the mail, right? With the listeners joking. Why not get a rack and embrace it? It's a goof. There's your spoon collection. It's a joke.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, I get the joke. Doesn't mean I gotta display it. What am I gonna do with them?
You know that would be the highlight of every tour that comes through Sirius.
Guess what?
now.
I don't need any tours going through my office.
Is that JD's spoon collection? People would be excited to see it.
Then I got the people. First of all, I get the people goofing out, looking at me through the window like I'm an exhibit, and now they see the spoons on the wall.
JD, wow, you're so misdirected. People come to look at you to say hello to you because they like you. They're a fan. Now, I get it that you feel like you're on exhibit, but people appreciate you. Imagine if people hated you and walked right by you. Would you love that?
And there could be some like big emergency where your spoons save us all, like Rudolph and his red nose.
No, but seriously, go back to that. Would you rather people disliked you and ignored you?
Well, I mean, no, but there's a very awkward thing of meeting people I don't know, and
But you realize that everybody that walks by there, it's because they like you.
Yes, I know, and yes, I know this.
The already existing spoon collection. Do you keep that in the safe? Do you keep it someplace else or just laying around your apartment? Where do you keep it?
No, he gave them to me because I rubbed them on my cock and he didn't want them afterwards.
He's probably got half of them, and there might be some others in the safe, but they're not.
What else is in the safe?
The cards,
a bunch of baseball cards.
Just cards?
Yeah. Baseball cards. There might be some like mementos, like
what?
I don't know, like I have an arrowhead from like family stuff or whatever. You know,
a family arrowhead.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it was. I don't know where it came from. I can't remember.
So you have spoons, arrowheads, cards. What else?
I don't know.
Lucky rabbit's foot.
No, I keep my passport in there.
Any coins or something like stamps?
I might have a coin in there. I can't remember.
An Indian head nickel type thing,
like a $2 bill. There might be one
the $2 bill. Nice.
Of course.
By the way, can we for a second? When you say you have a safe, are we talking about something that's very heavy that can't be moved?
I've even given a picture of it to Jason. It's literally like it's almost like a cabinet, but standalone.
Right, and
it's like a smaller cabinet.
Do you turn a dial?
No. I wanted to do that, but
So what is it? What's the lock?
Huh? There's no lock. It's a lock.
How safe is the safe if there's no lock?
All right, John, quit being a dick.
I'm not. I agree. I'm being very serious.
It was meant to be a safe. I'm just calling it a safe just to call it a safe.
So
it's a shelf.
It's a cabinet?
It's a cabinet, yes.
It keeps the mice out from chewing on his baseball
Does it have any locking mechanism?
There's no locking mechanism. There's like a handle, and there's a thing I could put a lock on there, but there's no lock.
For very honorable thieves.
Imagine you're a safe cracker, the torch is in, and then you get like Barry Larkin's rookie card and a couple spoons.
Can you bring your safe in and we'll open it up like the Ark?
No,
because
it's fucking no.
Like Geraldo.
No.
Is it heavy?
It's a little weighty.
I could totally get Geraldo to come in and open JD's thing.
That'd be awesome.
Okay.
First Capone, now this.
All right, leave me alone.
I bet you there's more valuable shit in his safe than the Capone.
You're right. Joe and Carolina.
Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card.
You're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, JD, I just went online and just bought a Cincinnati Bengals spoon. I was going to send you, but I'm not
Don't
gonna bother.
send me a
It's gonna throw
spoon.
it away.
I love the Cincinnati Bengals. I love the Bengals. I don't need a spoon of the Bengals. There's nothing. I have no place or anything for a spoon or any spoons.
Please send your spoon, sir.
No. It's going to go in the garbage.
JD, you realize the more you yell, the more spoons you're going to get.
I don't know what else to do.
And listen, fans, I'm going to go through JD's garbage at the end of the day and retrieve all your spoons.
Okay, you know what? There's a million trash cans around here, pal. I'll find one.
I'll follow you.
Richard, do you think this is one of those things where JD's saying no, but really he means
Oh, give me
yes?
a break, John.
Yeah.
So you're such an asshole. That is not what I'm doing.
I think his dream is somebody's going to send him a spoon that's worth like $1 million, and he'll have the last laugh.
You think he would want like a Rob Dibble spoon? Would he like something like that?
A Mario Soto spoon? Something like that. Gary, what do you do?
I don't want any 1976
a nasty boy spoon.
What do you do, though? Somebody like Richard went overseas, got JD, maybe it was a gag, but got him a gift. People get you gifts all the time. I mean, he threw it in the trash.
I didn't throw it in the trash. It's in the shelf. It's on the shelf.
You said he threw it in the trash.
He threw it away from himself, and I wasn't sure if he ended up throwing
Tossed
it away.
it aside.
He
let's just
tossed
say.
it. That's what I meant to say.
What's the right protocol? What should JD do? Someone says, "Hey, love you on the show. You know, here's a Todd Benzinger spoon." What should he do with it?
Keep throwing those names out.
I just think you should embrace it. Hang your spoons up. It's people come and see it. They think it's funny. It's like I say spoon and you're like slowly I turned. You're like out of your mind.
I'm just getting tweets like crazy with these spoons.
So what?
I don't know.
You could give it as a souvenir also when people come to visit.
I could do that too.
You could probably
that's a good idea.
Yeah, spoons for hot chicks.
You could probably do appearances at spoon conventions. It could turn into a whole career.
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't want a spoon to be my career.
Kidding aside, JD.
Don't want spoons to be anywhere near my career.
JD, that's not a bad idea, what Benji and Richard are saying. Like, it could be sort of your signature item. I mean, people would love to get a JD. Seriously,
I agree.
I would love a JD spoon.
I would get a spoon costume where like your face
Stop
is in
being
the spoon.
dicks. All right,
We're not.
Yes, you are. Listen, I don't. No, there's nothing. I'm not dealing with spoons, so why would I give them as a collector item?
Because it's funny.
No, it's not funny. It's not fun or funny.
What's the worst? What do you imagine is going to happen there? You're going to like be inundated with spoons, and you won't be able to get out of your office. Or
I don't know. I'm tired of hearing spoons.
There's a lot worse things people could send.
Richard, I am well aware.
Like you could be known for
shut up,
collecting
Richard.
used
Richard,
rubbers or
just, all
something.
right, just be quiet before you say something. I don't
Do you not
to-
want to be associated with spoons? Is that what it is?
Yeah, because they're not. It's like. I don't want to go into any.
What?
No. It's just. It's not. It has nothing to do with me. It was a small part of my life, and now it's like you guys are making it seem like it's this great big thing, and it's not. And that's what's frustrating.
I think you're making it sound like a smaller part of your life than it was.
John, it's just, you know what? You're trying to add on to the myth, and the myth is not true.
Now there's a
spoon myth. Yes.
If it was such a small part of your life, you wouldn't have brought them to New York with you.
No, I only did that because I had nothing. I didn't know what else to do with them.
Throw them away. You don't care about them.
I didn't think of it at the time, Gary. I've been here for 10 years, for Christ's sake.
And kept them in the safe.
Yeah.
And they're not just laying around. I mean, definitely made a special place for them.
The fact that you still have them frightens me.
Shut up, Gary.